Chapter 1081 True God Second Order, The Woman in the Soul Bead. Lin Moi's whole body shone brightly, like a bright star in the dark night, extremely dazzling. The soul quality becomes stronger, and the cultivation level is promoted accordingly. Various insights into the undead law came one after another, and Lin Moi officially stepped into the second level of the true God. A strong soul can speed up the perception of the law. And every point of understanding of the law can also enhance the soul. The two complement each other and are indispensable. It would have taken at least a year to reach the second level of the true God, but I didn't expect that it would be completed directly because of this accident. Even the Spark Python Godlord never imagined that the soul imprint he left behind would actually benefit Lin Moyu. Far away in the Spark Python race's territory, countless light years away, an enormous Spark Python was coiled around a planet. The Spark Python race has powerful individuals, and Godlords are not uncommon. This one was called Flame Python Godlord, with cultivation reaching the 4th rank of Godlord. Within the Spark Python race, he was not considered weak. His body was much larger than the projection, 597, coiling around the planet several times. Suddenly, he erupted in a furious roar. The aura of a Godlord shattered the tranquility of space, and surrounding planets deviated from their orbits, flying in all directions. The planet he was coiled around exploded, turning into dust. The soul imprint he left on Lin Moyu had disappeared. This was his soul power, but he had completely lost contact with it. He had permanently lost this wisp of soul power, although it was only a negligible amount to him, and he could quickly recover it. To him, it was a challenge to his dignity. In addition, Lin Moyu killed his descendants and even turned them into food. Thinking of this, he was extremely angry, and furious emotions swept through space. The wrath of a Godlord was enough to destroy stars. Many surrounding asteroids were crushed into fragments by his immense aura. Humans, you deserve to die. His eyes were filled with anger, and his hatred for the human race soared to the extreme. But without the soul imprint, finding Lin Moyu would no longer be easy. All he knew now was that Lin Moyu was in the Stellar Essence Fire Cluster. But he didn't know which Stellar Essence Fire Cluster. Moreover, he couldn't enter the Stellar Essence Fire Cluster, as the feeling of having his realm suppressed by the laws of the Great World was extremely uncomfortable. Even if he went in, what could he do? Even if he found Lin Moyu inside, he might not be able to kill him. Furthermore, if he entered battlefield number 5 with his Godlord body, it would inevitably attract the attention of other races' Godlords. The Spark Python race was not a strong race in the universe, and he didn't dare to confront human Godlords head-on. What a damned fellow, he must be killed. No Godlord was an idiot. He had only been blinded by anger before, but now he had calmed down. The human race is too strong and not easy to provoke. But this Godlord has already remembered your aura, you can't escape. Go find the celestial race, perhaps they can know his true identity. The Flame Python Godlord disappeared into the void with a cold smile. Lin Moyu successfully completed his advancement, and his strength increased significantly again. As his soul grew stronger and his cultivation increased, the power of his spells also became more powerful. Now his skeleton god generals were strong enough to be comparable to a true god of the 9th rank. Even if he encountered a true god at the peak, he could surround and kill them. Lin Moyu discovered that as his realm increased, his ability to fight beyond his level not only did not weaken, but instead tended to become stronger. After advancing, Lin Moyu could finally check the Python core. The Python core was the essence of the Spark Python, containing extremely strong power and being a top-quality material. It was also a very useful storage tool. Inside, Lin Moyu saw a full 198 stellar essence fires. The number is really not small. It seems there was no shortage of robbery. Unfortunately, it ultimately benefited me. Adding these 198 stellar essence fires, Lin Moyu had 1554 stellar essence fires, which was not a small number. Besides the stellar essence fire, there were some miscellaneous things in the Python core. Many of the things came from other races. As Lin Moyu had judged before, it definitely didn't collect stellar essence fire itself, but robbed like him. While Lin Moyu was sorting things out, he saw several weapons that clearly belonged to the human race. Obviously, some humans had died at its hands. What is this? Lin Moyu saw a jade bead among them. He sensed the aura of a soul from the bead, as well as a trace of vitality. Lin Moyu held the bead in his hand and played with it. The round and flawless jade bead looked very beautiful. Detection spell flew out, and Lin Mo Yu obtained the bead's information. Soul bead can contain souls, preserving the last trace of life. Lin Mo Yu's heart stirred, and the next second his soul had already probed inside. Inside the bead was a small space, and he saw a woman, a human woman. To be precise, he saw a soul. The woman's soul wore a gorgeous and exquisite soul garment. The soul garment exuded a powerful aura, firmly protecting the woman's soul. Lin Mo Yu could feel the power of this soul garment, beyond his ability to break. Even if he used the soul-severing sword, he couldn't break this soul garment. Judging by the soul garment, this woman's soul should also be very strong. What is the origin of this woman, and why is she in a deep sleep? Lin Mo Yu pondered. He tried to wake her up, but after several attempts, he failed. The woman remained unconscious, without any movement. Because of the protection of the soul garment, Lin Mo Yu couldn't touch the woman's soul. After studying it for a long time without any results, he had to give up. Lin Mo Yu planned to take the soul bead back and give it to Zhu Tian. Perhaps with Zhu Tian's status and knowledge, he could know the woman's identity. After sorting out his gains, Lin Mo Yu continued to move forward. The reborn were clearing the way in front. After the battle just now, most of the reborn were lost, and now only 52 remained. Each reborn had the battle power of a true god of the 7th rank, but it was still not enough when facing a true god of the 8th rank. Especially for those who looked like they were true gods of the 8th rank, but their battle power reached true god of the 9th rank, the difference was even greater. In the second stellar essence fire cluster, one would not come here without extraordinary cultivation. It was too dangerous here. A distance of 100 million kilometers was not far. The temperature was rising at an alarming rate. When the distance was only 1 million kilometers, the temperature had already exceeded 10,000 degrees. The number of stellar essence fires here was greater, the quality was higher, and they were more dense. Suddenly, a flash of fire flashed before his eyes, and a reborn was reduced to ashes. Flash fire. So this is flash fire. Just now, he only saw a flash of fire, and a reborn was burned to death. Lin Mo Yu didn't even see the appearance of the stellar essence fire clearly. Using flash fire to describe this situation was indeed very appropriate. It appeared from nowhere, then flashed past and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Stellar essence fire itself contained a strong law attack, and it was not bad in the second tier of laws. All the laws erupted at this moment. It looked like the movement was small, but in reality, the power was enormous. According to Lin Mo's knowledge, if a true god of the 8th rank encountered a flash fire, they would be severely injured at best, and directly die at worst. Flash star, flash fire, what exactly is going on? They are usually invisible, but suddenly appear, how strange. Lin Mo couldn't understand the reason why flash stars and flash fires suddenly appeared and disappeared. It seemed to exceed his understanding of the world. The skeletal armor suddenly erupted and instantly collapsed. Lin Mo felt a scorching aura penetrate his body, burning his soul. Chapter 1082. The Strange Second Star Essence Fire Swarm. In an instant, Lin Mo's whole body turned red, and flames rose, as if he was about to burn. It wasn't just the body that was burning, but also the soul. Outside the soul world, large swaths of flames appeared, surrounding the entire soul world, burning fiercely. But in just half a second, in the blink of an eye, the sudden flames all subsided, as if they had never appeared. Only residual heat remained, telling Lin Mo that in the half-second just now, he had been burned by flames exceeding tens of millions of degrees at least once. Both the body and soul were burned once. Lin Mo was still afraid. Everything happened too fast, too suddenly, even he didn't react. This is flash fire. Lin Mo knew he had encountered flash fire, and truly experienced it. But flash fire didn't cause him too much damage, and even the undead legion didn't collapse. Flash fire's attack power wasn't strong, exactly at the peak of the true god 8th rank. However, the damage of flash fire was manifested extremely strangely, directly erupting inside the body, originating from within, not from the outside. In this case, even the strongest defense would lose its effect. The result was that it couldn't be defended against, and could only be endured. Fortunately, Lin Mo's defense was amazing enough, and he withstood it unscathed. After experiencing a flash fire attack, Lin Mo was relieved instead. The unknown is often the most terrifying, but after experiencing it firsthand, you will find that it is nothing more than that. But in the next second, a gleam flashed in Lin Mo's eyes. My physical body seems to have become stronger, and the soul world has also become more solid. After thinking carefully, Lin Mo understood. The flash fire, which lasted less than half a second, actually tempered his body and soul once, making the physical body stronger, and so was the soul. Perhaps the soul quality didn't improve, and the soul power didn't increase, but it became purer and more solid. The more solid the soul world, the stronger the defense, and the safer the soul. When the soul is materialized, the safety will be higher. Flash fire is an opportunity. As long as you can withstand flash fire, you can repeatedly temper your body and strengthen your soul. Lin Mo understood in his heart. Everything has two sides, yin and yang. While flash fire brings danger, it also brings opportunities. Then Lin Mo's thoughts diverged. He realized, is Dark Star also an opportunity? Or rather, lightning, if you don't die after being hit, will you also gain something? You can try it. Lin Mo made up his mind that when he leaves here, he can go find Dark Star to try. Whether it is courting death, it will naturally be clear then. As for now, Lin Mo began to look for top-quality star essence fire, and also look for alien races. Lin Mo was no longer interested in ordinary star essence fire. Even if he wanted to get more, he wouldn't get it through collection. The skeletons and the reborn spread out. Here, the original reborn are no longer very useful. Even if the remaining 50 go together, they may not be able to defeat a true god of the 8th rank. The true gods of the 8th rank who can survive here are by no means comparable to ordinary true gods of the 8th rank. Each one is far superior to ordinary true gods of the 8th rank in terms of vigilance and combat power. Soon, a reborn encountered an alien race. Before the reborn could take action, the alien race had already done so. This alien race happened to be collecting star essence fire, and he suddenly threw the star essence fire out, turning a radius of 10,000 miles into a sea of fire. The reborn were buried in the sea of fire in the blink of an eye, and he left calmly in the sea of fire. Very vigilant and very decisive. Even the lives of his own people are not spared. Among the reborn who were buried in the sea of fire, one was still of his own race. Perhaps he didn't notice, but it was enough to illustrate the problem. In this special area, everyone puts themselves first. If there is danger, protect yourself first. If you can't even take care of yourself, what time do you have to take care of others? Suddenly, Lin Mo had a creepy feeling. He knew he was being soul-locked. Immediately afterwards, a golden light fell. Lin Mo's wings of the undead vibrated, instantly severing the lock and avoiding the golden light. Looking up, there was a star essence fire about 10,000 miles away from him. A golden eagle was hiding behind the star essence fire, launching an attack on him. This golden eagle obviously didn't expect Lin Mo to react so quickly, and to be able to sever the soul lock. Failing to hit with one blow, the golden eagle clan didn't delay at all, turned around and left, and instantly disappeared into the starry sky. Also very decisive, the scattered skeletons soon saw some alien races again. These alien races, upon seeing the skeletons, launched attacks directly without saying a word. Regardless of the outcome of the attack, they turned around and left, never entangled. It happened again and again, failing to hit with one blow, fleeing thousands of miles away. This place is like an independent world, with its own set of rules, different from what I encountered before. Is there a problem with staying here? While Lin Mo was thinking, he was also moving, not stopping. He was new here and didn't understand it very well. But since everyone is doing this, there should be a reason. Perhaps, I should ask someone. Lin Mo originally wanted to turn the Starfire Python into a reborn, but the Starfire Python had other uses. Its flesh could be eaten, and its scales could be used as materials. It would be a pity to turn him into a reborn. Although the reborn only needs a part of the flesh to complete the flesh rebirth. But when the reborn completely dies, all the flesh related to it will disappear. Fortunately, there are also humans in this area. Lin Mo quickly saw a true god 8th rank human through the skeleton. After the skeleton saw it from a distance, it didn't go over, otherwise the other party would definitely leave again. After Lin Mo went over himself, he said loudly from a distance, "Senior, may I ask a question?" The man frowned slightly when he saw Lin Mo. "Don't come over, say what you have to say." Even when facing humans, the man remained vigilant. Even though the aura Lin Mo showed was only of the true god 2nd rank, he didn't relax because of it. This tense state made Lin Mo feel strange. Lin Moyu maintained a distance of thousands of kilometers from him. Excuse me, senior, why are the people here so hurried? Lin Moyu thought for a moment, unable to find a suitable word. The man said, are you asking why the various races here don't entangle with each other, and leave after at most 1 or 2 attacks, right? Lin Moyu nodded, yes, senior, this junior has come here for the first time and is indeed a little confused. The man said, you're only a true god stage 2, yet you dare to come here, your courage is indeed remarkable, and you should be among the geniuses. Let me advise you, you must be careful here, as dangers are everywhere, especially those guys who love to deal with various geniuses. Those guys. Lin Moyu was a little confused, please enlighten me, senior. The man said, it's actually very simple, move around a bit, don't stay still, it's dangerous. As he spoke, the man moved, teleporting thousands of meters away. Lin Moyu didn't understand why, but he followed suit, also teleporting thousands of meters in parallel. The man said, there are a few guys who are good at sneak attacks and assassinations, prolonged engagements will attract them. Also, Chapter 1083, Various Reasons, Searching for the Star-Shooting Ballista. After his explanation, Lin Moyu finally understood. The reason why this area had become like this was mainly due to 2 reasons. First, there were Netherworld race people active here. The Netherworld race and the Shadow race were somewhat similar, both being races skilled in assassination. But the two were slightly different. The Shadow race was good at lurking and getting close, ultimately launching a fatal blow. The Netherworld race, however, could follow the laws and launch surprise attacks directly from a relatively long distance. Moreover, they could sense the fluctuations of laws in very distant areas, thereby lurking over. However, their attacks were much weaker than those of the Shadow race. The Shadow race could often explode with an attack power 3 or 4 levels beyond their own in an instant. Some powerful Shadow race members could even unleash attacks that crossed major realms. There had even been an example of a true God Stage 9 Shadow race successfully assassinating a God King Stage 1. The Netherworld race could generally only unleash an attack power 1 level beyond their own, and could not fight across realms. But their ability to attack remotely was even more troublesome here. Under the illumination of the stellar essence fire, it became difficult for the Shadow race to lurk and get close. The Netherworld race could launch a fatal blow at you from tens of thousands of kilometers away. However, all of this had a prerequisite, that is, you were fighting with someone, and the laws filled with your soul aura were locked onto by the Netherworld race, so they could launch an attack. This was why you couldn't fight with people for a long time, to prevent the Netherworld race from sneak attacking. As for why you couldn't stay in one place for a long time, it involved another matter. The sky-breaking race had set up a star-shooting ballista in a certain corner. The star-shooting ballista was a God King realm weapon that could kill enemies across hundreds of millions of kilometers. It was not a magic weapon, but a simple weapon. It could be used without anyone manipulating it, and it didn't need an external energy supply, it only absorbed the heat emitted from the stellar essence fire to meet its own needs. The most troublesome thing was that it also had a stealth function, making it difficult to be discovered. The sky-breaking race used the star-shooting ballista to lock onto the entire stellar essence fire group, and anyone who stayed still for a long time would be locked onto by the star-shooting ballista, and then attacked. The star-shooting ballista could unleash the attack power of a true god peak, which almost no one could resist. Only when very close to the stellar essence fire, due to the influence of the stellar essence fire's power, could the star-shooting ballista not lock on. This explained why everyone here was constantly moving and never dared to stop. These 2 main reasons caused the phenomenon that Lin Moyu had seen before. Each race used their own methods to try to obtain resources. The Netherworld race's frontal combat ability was weak, so they used their advantages to carry out sneak attacks. The sky-breaking race's frontal combat ability was even weaker, but they were good at refining weapons and could create various strange weapons. So they used their advantages to place the star-shooting ballista. Lin Moyu estimated that there might be more than one. This was a battlefield, a place for competition among all races, and any method could be used. As long as you could obtain resources and survive, that was victory. The various races here showed their skills and competed with each other. Thank you for your guidance, senior, this junior understands. Lin Moyu cupped his fists in thanks to the other party. The man waved his hand, you're welcome, take care of yourself, I hope you return safely. Actually, you shouldn't have come. After the man finished speaking, he turned and left. Lin Moyu could understand the meaning of his last sentence, although he didn't say it explicitly, it was actually a good intention. Being able to come here had already proven his combat power. He was a genius and shouldn't have come here so early. If he waited a few more levels, until he was at True God Stage 5 or even 6 before coming, he might be able to walk sideways here. Lin Moyu kept moving. This place is more dangerous than I imagined. The sneak attacks of alien races, the attacks of flashing fire, the assassinations of the netherworld race, the star-shooting ballista of the sky-breaking race. No wonder the people here are all tense and never entangle with each other. But the star-shooting ballista seems to be a good thing. Lin Moyu thought of the information about the sky-breaking race. This was a race that was not strong in combat but was very good at refining weapons. They didn't have any major grudges with any race. They relied on trading with various races, selling the refined war weapons to them in exchange for a large amount of resources. Once, a powerful race planned to keep them in captivity, turning the sky-breaking race into their slaves, just to refine weapons for themselves. But the result was fierce resistance from the sky-breaking race. The powerful race dispatched many god sovereigns, and even existences above god sovereigns. In the end, the sky-breaking race took out the great weapon they had refined, not only killing a large number of god sovereigns from the other side, but even seriously injuring the existences above god sovereigns. The powerful race was severely damaged, and the opposing race took advantage of the weakness, resulting in a great battle that destroyed the powerful race. From then on, the myriad races of the great world realized that the sky-breaking race was not to be trifled with. No one knew if the sky-breaking race had even more powerful weapons. In the eyes of the strong of all races, the sky-breaking race became a hedgehog. If you don't provoke him, he has no aggressiveness and will not have any impact on you. If you want to kick him away, if you kick too hard, he can stab you. Even someone will benefit from the fisherman. With the lessons learned from the past, no one dared to provoke the sky-breaking race again. No one was willing to do this thankless thing. The sky-breaking race survived smoothly in the great world and has continued to this day. There are various war weapons in the sky-breaking race, and the star-shooting ballista is one of them. Lin Moyu didn't understand weapon refinement, but he knew that the star-shooting ballista was incredibly valuable, and if he could get it, he would definitely be able to exchange it for a lot of points. The plan has changed slightly. In addition to finding Luo Fei and the best stellar essence fire, now he has to add a star-shooting ballista. A few days later, the skeletons had spread to every corner of the stellar essence fire group. He had seen thousands of alien races and had been attacked again and again, but he had not found Luo Fei's whereabouts. Lin Moyu guessed that Luo Fei was very likely to have gone to the third stellar essence fire group. Moreover, he had not found the best stellar essence fire here. The probability of finding top-grade stellar essence fire is too low, it's normal not to find it. Lin Moyu didn't give up, he also planned to continue deeper, heading towards the third stellar essence fire cluster. Of the three things, finding top-grade stellar essence fire was the most important to him. But before leaving, he still wanted to try and get his hands on the star-shooting ballista. Lin Moyu, who had been constantly moving, suddenly stopped. He waited quietly for 5 minutes, and a starlight lit up not far away. Lin Moyu saw a law arrow suddenly fly out of the starlight, striking him like lightning. The bone armor shattered on the spot, and the undead legion collectively suffered heavy damage, reaching the verge of collapse. The attack of the star-shooting ballista was extremely powerful, reaching the peak of true god. But it was still far from enough to injure Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu took the arrow head-on, while looking in the direction the law arrow came from. He silently recited in his mind, 1, 2, 3. After 60 seconds, a point of white light lit up in the distant starry sky, and Lin Moyu firmly grasped it. That was the approximate location of the star-shooting ballista. 60 seconds, 18 million kilometers, not very far. Lin Moyu took the arrow head-on, deliberately activating spell linkage. The light from bone fangs and bone spears, after traveling for 60 seconds, was captured by Lin Moyu. The speed of light traveling in the starry sky is 300,000 kilometers per second. 60 seconds is almost 18 million kilometers. Lin Moyu locked onto the direction, stepped on the light speed law halo, and shot away. At the same time, a skeleton appeared beside him. Spell linkage locks the position, the naked eye and soul simultaneously check, plus the skeleton's undead perspective. With these 4 methods combined, Lin Moyu didn't believe he couldn't find the star-shooting ballista. Chapter 1084. Don't know what you're screaming about. The star-shooting ballista has the ability to be invisible. It cannot be seen with the naked eye, and it is difficult to sense even with soul power. However, through the skeleton's undead perspective, its existence was found. In a hidden corner of the starry sky, a star-shooting ballista with a diameter of only 10 meters was quietly placed there. The star-shooting ballista was covered with runes, and looked extremely exquisite. It was very quiet. When not attacking, it was silent, hidden in the starlight, difficult to see with the naked eye. Even when attacking, only the runes would flash, disappearing in the blink of an eye. In the vast sea of stars, with distances measured in hundreds of millions of kilometers, or even light years, such a small thing with a diameter of only 10 meters was so inconspicuous. It was indeed very difficult to find it. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry to collect it, but instead admired the star-shooting ballista like appreciating a work of art. The sky-breaking clan truly has great talent in weapon crafting. The star-shooting ballista is perfect. No need to drive it, no need to supply energy, self-invisibility, self-locking, combining all kinds of advantages in one. The runes on it. The runes engraved on the star-shooting ballista reminded Lin Moyu of the Great World runes. The two were extremely similar. Among the myriad races of the Great World, many races would use various methods such as barriers, formations, and restrictions. Runes were also one of them. The human race also used runes when crafting weapons. However, those runes were all formation runes, using runes to form formations. Unlike the sky-breaking clan, which directly used runes. These runes contained certain truths. It seems that the sky-breaking clan's understanding of runes has reached an extremely deep level. The world is fair. Although it didn't give you powerful cultivation talent, it gave you enough weapon crafting talent to pierce the sky. Lin Moyu reached out and grabbed the star-shooting ballista. The runes on the star-shooting ballista suddenly flashed brightly, and an invisible force spread out, preventing Lin Moyu from approaching. The originally quiet star-shooting ballista became excited at this moment. Its aura almost reached the level of a God King realm. Although the star-shooting ballista could only unleash an attack at the peak of the true God realm, its main body was a genuine God King realm weapon. The materials used to manufacture it were almost all God King realm materials. The resistance that erupted at this time was also extremely strong. Useless. Lin Moyu chuckled. If it were a God King in person, he might find it difficult to deal with. But just a God King realm war weapon was far inferior to a real God King. With a thought of his soul power, the law domain instantly opened and suppressed it. The undead law crashed onto the star-shooting ballista like a tide, and the power of death in the law constantly erased the star-shooting ballista's resistance. The power of death could corrode everything, and was always effective. Soon, the runes on the star-shooting ballista became dim and stopped resisting. Lin Moyu firmly grasped it, and a flash of fire appeared not far away. A law arrow accurately struck Lin Moyu. White light flashed on Lin Moyu's body, and the bone armor shattered. The undead legion collectively suffered damage, almost reaching the verge of collective collapse. Lin Moyu seemed to have expected this. Sure enough, there's another one. He had previously guessed that there might be more than one star-shooting ballista. Now it seemed that his guess was correct. There was indeed more than one. The other star-shooting ballista was hidden even deeper, not used usually, only launching a fatal attack when the star-shooting ballista in front of it was discovered and taken away. Unfortunately, an attack at the peak of the true God realm could not injure him. Lin Moyu exerted force again, and his big hand steadily grabbed the star-shooting ballista. A few seconds later, a point of white light lit up in the dark starry sky, so clear. Lin Moyu accurately captured the position of the white light, and the corner of his mouth slightly raised. 8 seconds, 2.4 million kilometers, this time it's closer. Following the same method, using spell linkage, Lin Moyu once again accurately locked the position of another star-shooting ballista. The reason why he guessed that there was more than one star-shooting ballista was also related to the Sky-Breaking clan's personality. The Sky-Breaking clan's people are very cautious, doing everything carefully. So they often leave behind a backup plan. Lin Moyu used this point to guess that there might be a second star-shooting ballista. The current situation verified his guess. The star-shooting ballista was firmly grasped in his hand, and the resistance was no longer so intense. A soul imprint was left on the star-shooting ballista. Lin Moyu's soul power rolled out, wanting to erase this soul imprint and replace it with his own. The soul imprint on the star-shooting ballista was activated, and an angry roar sounded. Bold, dare to seize the things of my sky-breaking clan. Lin Moyu chuckled, do you know which race I am? The other party was obviously stunned for a moment, obviously unable to understand the meaning of Lin Moyu's words for a while. Lin Moyu could sense the strength of the soul imprint. A third-grade soul meant that the owner of the soul imprint was at most in the God King realm. Without reaching the God Venerate realm, they could not project over. Although they could transmit sound, they still couldn't see him. Lin Moyu continued to chuckle, since you don't know which race I am, then what the hell are you screaming about? Saying that, his soul suddenly exerted force, and his soul body raised a finger. The undead law surged out frantically, quickly erasing the other party's soul imprint. Anyway, they don't know who he is, so what's the point of threatening? Lin Moyu left his own soul imprint on the star-shooting ballista, and then put it away. Without pausing, he hurried toward the location of another star-shooting ballista. He needed to retrieve the star-shooting ballista before the people of the Sky-Breaking clan arrived. This way, no one would know he did it, and even if the Sky-Breaking clan wanted to settle the score, they wouldn't know who to target. Soon, Lin Moy found the second star-shooting ballista and, following the same method, quickly erased its resistance and wiped away the soul imprint on it. The two star-shooting ballistas clearly belonged to the same person, as the soul imprints were identical. The owner of the soul imprints was furious and yelled, but it was all in vain. After taking the star-shooting ballista at top speed, Lin Moy flapped his wings of the undead and instantly flew away, disappearing without a trace. Several minutes after he left, several Sky-Breaking clan members wearing exquisite armor arrived. Looking at the place where the star-shooting ballista had been placed, now empty, the Sky-Breaking clan members looked at each other, helpless. Lin Moy had long since departed, disappearing without a trace, and they had no idea how to track him. Moreover, they didn't dare to continue placing star-shooting ballistas, at least not for the time being. What if that guy came back? How did this guy do it? I don't know, how could he pinpoint the location of the star-shooting ballistas so accurately? Could it be that the Sky-Breaking clan's hidden runes have been deciphered? Impossible. I think it's possible it was just a coincidence. No, we must report this matter back to the clan. After discussing it, the Sky-Breaking clan members decided not to place star-shooting ballistas for the time being. Lin Moy's removal of the two star-shooting ballistas caused a subtle change in the situation of the second stellar essence fire cluster. However, at this moment, he had already left far behind, officially embarking on the road to the third stellar essence fire cluster. Not only did he have to rush to the third stellar essence fire cluster, but he also had to try to court death along the way. After Lin Moy left, a black shadow flashed in the void. Not long after, Zhu Qiwu, who was sitting cross-legged on the 10th star fortress, said indifferently, the star-killing fire python is neither humble nor arrogant before the God Emperor, possessing a proud spirit. Taking away the star-shooting ballistas, linking the techniques, a very clever little guy, somewhat interesting. Third brother's vision has never been bad, it seems he was very accurate this time as well, the person he values shouldn't be too bad. Keep an eye on him. Zhu Qiwu muttered to himself a few times, then closed his eyes again. Chapter 1085. One man's poison, another man's honey. Leaving the second stellar essence fire cluster, he once again faced a void of hundreds of billions of kilometers. Lin Moy felt that this war zone was like a boundless ocean, with the void being the sea and the stellar essence fire clusters being islands in the sea. Sailing in the sea, one would occasionally be hit by oncoming waves. Dark stars were like oncoming huge waves, visible, giving you a chance to avoid them. And the flickering stars that appeared anytime, anywhere, without warning, were like undercurrents. Lin Moy had previously used his own methods to avoid flickering stars as much as possible. But this time, he was actively seeking out flickering stars. Flickering fire could temper the body and soul, and flickering stars might also have the same effect. Lin Moy had also tried using ordinary stellar essence fire, but it had no effect. From this, he speculated that ordinary dark stars would also be useless. According to Lin Moy's guess, flickering lightning and flickering fire should possess something that ordinary stellar essence fire and dark stars did not. After flying away from the stellar essence fire cluster for hundreds of millions of kilometers, Lin Moy discovered dark stars. Not just one, but a group. As he went deeper, the number of dark stars increased significantly. This time, Lin Moi didn't dodge, but chose a dark star with a diameter of less than 100 kilometers and actively crashed into it. He wanted to verify his guess and see if ordinary dark stars had any magical effect. He was like a pebble dropped into a river, smashing into the dark star. The dark star with a diameter of 100 kilometers trembled violently, forcibly changing direction after being smashed by Lin Moi. A huge pit appeared on it. Lin Moi stood in the pit, his whole body flashing with white light, looking unscathed. That collision was equivalent to Lin Moi enduring a full-force attack from a peak true god. The undead legion almost collapsed collectively, and the dark star was also knocked off its flight path. Lin Moi's eyes were neither happy nor sad. The events before him were the same as he had expected. Dark stars could not bring him any benefits. Dark stars, like ordinary stellar essence fire, had no special effects. It seems that I can only look for flickering stars, but the appearance of flickering stars is unpredictable. Without any pattern, I can only rely on luck. Lin Moi felt a headache when it came to luck. Previously, he had only encountered flickering fire once in the second stellar essence fire cluster, and hadn't encountered it again in the following days. However, the skeletons encountered it many times. Lin Moi was also very troubled by this situation. He didn't know whether to say he was lucky or unlucky. Others avoided flickering stars and flickering fire for fear of encountering them, but he had to find a way to actively seek them out, which was somewhat funny. Lin Moi deliberately slowed down, walking and stopping in the starry sky, hoping to encounter flickering stars. As a result, after flying for 2 days, nearly 3 billion kilometers, he didn't encounter a single flickering star. It seems that I really can only rely on luck. Forget it, let it be. Lin Moi said softly, and began to speed up. He no longer worried about whether he could encounter flickering lightning, and instead decided to go to the third stellar essence fire cluster first to find top-grade stellar essence fire. Just as he increased his speed to the limit, a chill suddenly rose in his heart. Everything suddenly went black before his eyes, and he felt as if he had crashed into an incomparably sturdy wall of steel, and then was blasted away by a huge force. Lin Moi completely lost control of his body, flying backwards in the starry sky, his speed far exceeding 30,000 kilometers per second. The immense force impacted every corner of his body, every inch of skin, every piece of flesh. It tore at his bones, as if to tear his body into pieces. The attack power had already surpassed the true god realm, barely reaching the god king realm. The undead legion finally collapsed, and then quickly revived under the effect of the undying undead technique. The immense impact came quickly and went quickly. When Lin Moi withstood all the attacks, he found that his physical body had become stronger. The impurities in his body were washed away by this force, and his body became purer. Possessing the heart of flame, his body was constantly getting stronger every minute and every second with the beating of the heart of flame. It was just that this strengthening was gentle and slow, subtle, and required a lot of time to accumulate. Unlike flickering fire and flickering lightning, which were so intense, the increase was very amazing. After experiencing flickering fire and flickering lightning once, his body had become at least 10% stronger, and his soul had also strengthened a bit. After flying backwards for hundreds of thousands of kilometers, Lin Moi finally regained control of his body. He stood quietly in the starry sky, experiencing the changes in his body. Flickering fire strengthens the soul and internal organs, but it doesn't greatly enhance the skin, bones, and flesh. Flickering fire also originates from within the body, strengthening the internal. And flickering stars are purely external forces, strengthening the skin, flesh, and bones. The two complement each other and can form a comprehensive enhancement. It's just too dangerous, ordinary true gods can't withstand it at all, and will die upon touching it. One man's poison, another man's honey, it's a pity that everything depends on luck and cannot be forced. Lin Mo remained calm, understanding that some things are obtained only through fate. Forcefully demanding them often leads to unpleasant outcomes. However, this doesn't mean one shouldn't compete. On the contrary, if there comes a day when one must vie for an opportunity, it requires even greater strength as support. AAA seeking fresh flowers 0 AAA. Things are divided into yin and yang, like his own undying law, controlling life and death. Lin Mo's thoughts were clear, and he understood everything perfectly. Without further delay, he flew towards the third stellar essence fire cluster. Following the direction of the law's flow and the changes in temperature, Lin Mo's direction was flawless. Along the way, he no longer pursued shining stars, using the skeletons to avoid useless dark stars, and his speed increased. 3 days later, Lin Mo entered the area covered by the stellar essence fire cluster. The dense firelight resembled a narrow galaxy, hanging in the dark depths of space. Compared to the second stellar essence fire cluster, this one was much larger. This area was for True God Rank 9 or True God Peak experts. Here, the probability of finding top-grade stellar essence fire greatly increased. Lin Mo didn't know what top-grade stellar essence fire looked like, but he knew he would recognize it when he saw it. It was more dangerous here, and fewer people were active in this area. Most people who came here had lost interest in ordinary stellar essence fire. They were here for top-grade stellar essence fire. The stellar essence fire here was more powerful and hotter. Even millions of kilometers away, the temperature exceeded 100,000 degrees. If he continued to approach, it could reach 1,000,000 degrees. When collecting stellar essence fire, he would have to withstand temperatures of millions of degrees. Such high temperatures were the limit for ordinary true gods. Only those who were extremely confident in their strength or possessed special magical treasures were qualified to collect stellar essence fire here. As he got closer to the stellar essence fire cluster, Lin Mo discovered a new situation. The stellar essence fire here actually moved. All the stellar essence fire moved in an orderly manner in space, like planets. Lin Mo personally witnessed a ball of stellar essence fire whizzing past only 10,000 kilometers away. This distance was so close that it almost brushed his face. As the stellar essence fire flew past, it brought terrifying heat, and the temperature soared instantly. Fortunately, Lin Mo was completely immune to pure elements. As long as it didn't contain laws, no amount of heat could hurt him. Before long, another stellar essence fire rushed towards him. Although Lin Mo wasn't afraid, he didn't want to be burned by the essence fire, so he naturally dodged. In the heat, a blaze shot out, sweeping towards Lin Mo. Chapter 1086. This is Demon Fire. Not impressive. Unexpectedly, an alien race was hidden behind the stellar essence fire. The fire soared into the sky, carrying countless fire lines, raising a large rain of fire in space, sweeping towards Lin Mo. Lin Mo glanced at the fire rain, unafraid, neither dodging nor avoiding. He didn't need to dodge such a drizzle of attacks. The bone armor on his body shone brightly, but in less than a second, the bone armor shattered. At the same time, a strange cry rang out. In the flames behind the stellar essence fire, a white light lit up. The spell linked and automatically locked onto the enemy, so Lin Mo didn't need to search. Lin Mo pointed his finger at the opponent, Time Curse. A red light flashed, and the opponent only let out a muffled groan. The soul attack didn't work as it usually did. Strong soul. Lin Mo sensed that the opponent's soul had reached at least the 3rd rank and possessed a soul defense magic treasure, blocking his soul attack. But at this moment, Lin Mo also saw the opponent's appearance clearly. It was a demon whose whole body was covered in flames. Flame Demon. Lin Mo recognized it at a glance. This was the Flame Demon clan, who were good at manipulating flames among the demon race. This clan was naturally close to the fire element, and they could easily control flame-related laws with a little practice. There were 2 major factions in the demon race, Hell Demons and Abyss Demons. One of the sources of power for the Abyss Demons was the Abyss Fire. The Flame Demons were said to be born from the Abyss Fire and were one of the most primitive and ancient demons of all. They were very powerful in combat and belonged to the top tier in the same realm. The True God Rank 9 Flame Demon in front of him should have the combat power of a True God Peak. If his laws were strong enough, he could even surpass True God Peak. Lin Mo's soul attack obviously made him uncomfortable. The Flame Demon roared, "Human, die!" The fire rain instantly turned into a fire dragon, baring its fangs and claws to bite over. The stellar essence fire exploded, and the Flame Demon used his own laws to mobilize the stellar essence fire, greatly enhancing his attack power. His eyes flashed with bloodthirsty light. "You are the 108th human to die in this demon's hands. A mere True God Rank 2 dares to come here to die. Boy, remember, the one who killed you is called Hulalai, the Great Flame Demon." Lin Mo shook his head. "I've killed too many demons to remember which number you are." The dual law domains opened violently, blocking all the fire dragons outside. The law of slaughter and the law of undying merged into one, and Lin Mo's killing intent rose. Whether in the past or now, he only had one word for demons: kill. Skeleton god generals appeared densely, and in the next moment, sword energy crisscrossed, and all the fire dragons were cut down. What is this? Hulalai cried out strangely and retreated rapidly. His reaction was quick, but unfortunately, the skeleton god generals were even faster. Like teleportation, they instantly caught up and surrounded him. The sword energy intertwined, leaving him no room to dodge. The flame demon's whole body rose with fire, forming a flame armor. The next second, his soul jumped out of his body, and his soul was also covered in flames. Soul manifestation, the most powerful means of the true god realm. His soul wore a delicate armor, and it was this armor that blocked Lin Mo's soul attack. The soul let out a roar, and the surrounding tens of thousands of miles instantly turned into a sea of fire. The skeleton god generals were scorched by the laws in the sea of fire and seemed unable to hold on for long. The Lich General appeared and began to heal the skeleton god generals. More skeleton god generals appeared. Thousands of skeleton god generals surrounded the flame demon and launched a fierce attack. Although the sea of fire was powerful, it might have been able to burn the skeleton god generals to death before Lin Mo upgraded. But now it was not enough. A small difference made a great error. At this moment, the skeleton god generals possessed the combat power of true god rank 9. Even if they were a little weaker than the flame demon in front of him, Lin Mo had an absolute numerical advantage. Now, he had only released 1,000 skeleton god generals, which had already made Hulalai scream incessantly. Hulalai could also see that each skeleton god general was only slightly weaker than himself. Even if he manifested his soul and greatly enhanced the power of the laws, he still couldn't kill them. Beside Lin Mo Yu, there were several strange fellows healing the skeletons. He had never seen this kind of fighting style before. Damn humans, how can you have so many puppets? Don't think these puppets can protect you, you are too weak. He felt that the skeletons were all Lin Mo Yu's puppets. His eyes turned, and the flames on his soul body boiled, merging with his own flames. Weak human, die, devil's fire, incinerate everything. With a roar, he transformed into fire and smashed towards Lin Mo Yu. His speed was so fast that he crossed tens of thousands of miles of space almost instantly, arriving in front of Lin Mo Yu. Since he couldn't kill the skeletons, he would kill Lin Mo Yu, the manipulator. In his eyes, Lin Mo Yu was too weak, only at the second rank of true god, he could be pinched to death with a casual reach. Lin Mo Yu chuckled, whether I'm weak or not, you'll know once you try. Devil's fire devoured Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu didn't dodge or avoid, allowing the devil's fire to burn him. This scene fell into the eyes of the flame demon, who thought Lin Mo Yu was frightened and didn't know how to dodge at all. After all, he was only at the second rank of true god, how strong could he be? The flame demon laughed maniacally. Devil's fire can incinerate everything, struggle, suffer, and wail. Unfortunately, he didn't hear any sound. In the fire, Lin Mo Yu just quietly looked at him, so calm that even he was a little scared. He didn't know what was going on, why Lin Mo Yu was fine at all. Why his devil's fire was useless at all. Lin Mo Yu took a deep breath, inhaling some of the devil's fire into his body, with a hint of disdain in his eyes. This is devil's fire. Seems not so powerful. Can't you be stronger? You're already at the peak of true god, can't you fight across realms? It's really disappointing. Since that's the case, there's no use in keeping you. Hearing Lin Mo Yu's words, Hulalai's soul was greatly shaken, and a chill went straight to the depths of his soul. He turned to flee. At this moment, strange stars appeared behind Lin Mo Yu, and his soul leapt out. The soul raised a hand and pointed, and the soul sword flew out. The flame demon immediately let out a scream, and the flame armor on his soul made a crisp sound, with countless cracks appearing. The soul sword was a divine king realm high-grade magic weapon, much stronger than the flame demon's flame armor. With one sword strike, it almost shattered the flame armor. The flame demon screamed strangely and turned to flee. But the skeleton divine generals surrounded him layer upon layer, not giving him a chance to escape at all. The second sword of the soul sword was unleashed, and the flame armor completely shattered. With the third sword, the flame demon's soul was severely injured, and the law domain in his soul almost collapsed. The flame demon's cry weakened. Let me go, please, I don't want to die. Lin Mo Yu's voice was icy cold. This sword is for the 108 human compatriots who were killed by you. The fourth sword was unleashed, the flame demon's soul collapsed and he died. The flame demon's corpse floated quietly in the starry sky, the flames on his body gradually extinguished, revealing his true form. The true flame demons are short in stature, less than a meter tall. Usually, they are covered in flames, never showing their true form. Lin Moyu's face was slightly pale, driving the soul sword consumed a lot of soul power. If he was at the first rank of true god, he could only unleash 3 swords. Now at the second rank of true god, he could barely unleash the 4th sword. In fact, by the 4th sword, the power was already greatly reduced. If the flame demon had a few more trump cards, and resisted a little longer, he might have been able to escape. True God 2nd rank, reversing True God peak, another genius has emerged from the human race. It's a pity, you're about to die. This one loves to kill geniuses the most. A cold laugh sounded from the starry sky. Chapter 1087 Completing the Bounty Mission, Killing Luo Fei. It's like a mantis stalking a cicada, unaware of the oriole behind, or when the snipe and clam grapple, the fisherman benefits. Neither is important. After all, this is a battlefield, there is no fairness to speak of. Exhausting all means, the one who can survive is the true victor. The loser will pay the price of their life, fairness means nothing to the dead. The stellar essence fire had already flown far away. In the dark depths of space, a person revealed himself. He was wearing a peculiar garment, it should be a magic weapon. This magic weapon could hide his aura, change its color, and blend in with the surroundings. So Lin Moyu hadn't noticed the other party's existence just now. This person's appearance was 5 parts similar to the human race, except he had a bird's beak. On his back, he had a wing. Not a pair, just one. The flying wing race, also known as the single wing race. It is said that they are a branch of the angel race, but the angel race never admits their existence. But anyone with eyes can see that the flying wing race has an extremely deep relationship with the angel race. Their spells, and the laws they are good at, are very similar. It's just that the angel race has at least a pair of wings, but the flying wing race only has 1 wing. Luo Fei. Lin Moyu looked at him, sensing his aura. True God 9th rank, possessing the ability of soul manifestation, can also be called the peak of true God. Such a flying wing race member, most likely should be Luo Fei. He laughed loudly. I didn't expect you to actually know this one, could it be that this one is on your human race's mission list? I guess so, this one has been active here for several years, killing hundreds if not thousands of your human race, and there are many geniuses among them. Today, this one's hands will have another human life. Lin Moyu saw him admit it generously, and a smile also appeared on his face. It's good that you admit it, I've been looking for you for a long time, I've finally found you. Luo Fei sneered, looking for me? Are you in a hurry to come and die? Lin Moyu shook his head, naturally to kill you. Ha 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 ha. These words completely amused Luo Fei. Luo Fei laughed almost maniacally, too funny, you actually want to kill me. Don't say that your soul power is exhausted now, even if you were at your peak, you wouldn't be enough to look at. You can challenge beyond your level, but this one can too. Lin Moyu's gaze locked onto Luo Fei, you'll know in a moment. No need for a moment, you can go die now. Luo Fei waved his hand, and the wing behind him flapped fiercely, and a ripple suddenly rippled in the space. An invisible force flew out, enveloping a large area of the starry sky. The space became viscous, and Lin Moyu immediately had a feeling of being trapped in a quagmire, unable to move an inch. This feeling not only enveloped the physical body, but also affected the soul. Lin Moyu couldn't help but frown. Restriction law. The flying wing race is good at the restriction law, which can form a powerful binding force, making it difficult for enemies to move, turning them into a target, allowing them to be slaughtered. At that moment, Luo Fei's wings vibrated again, and a feather fell. The feather exploded, and in an instant, countless feather phantoms appeared in the starry sky. The binding force became even stronger, making it difficult for Lin Mo to move his entire body, even lifting a hand became difficult. The power of the restriction laws surged from all directions, like countless ropes, firmly binding him. Luo Fei sneered, despair, you are just a living target now. I will cut off your flesh piece by piece. A slender, sharp sword appeared in Luo Fei's hand, looking extremely sharp. Lin Mo let out a soft shout, and his law domain expanded. Under the influence of the restriction laws, Lin Mo's dual law domain was also affected, only supporting a space of 10 meters in radius before it could no longer expand. Feather phantoms flew over, sticking to Lin Mo's law domain, locking it like a cage. Useless. In front of my restriction laws, your law domain is useless. Luo Fei laughed loudly, his whole body shining brightly as he instantly arrived in front of Lin Mo. At this moment, a strange star rose above Lin Mo's head, and his soul leapt out, gently pointing towards Luo Fei. Although the soul was also restricted, basic movements were still no problem. The soul-severing sword flew out like lightning, piercing towards Luo Fei. Luo Fei's expression changed drastically. Lin Mo's sudden attack was too fast, and he couldn't react in time. The soul-severing sword flew into Luo Fei's soul world, causing Luo Fei to tremble and let out a muffled groan. The next second, the soul-severing sword flew back, returning to the soul's hand. Luo Fei's whole body shone even more brightly, and a solid soul appeared outside his body. The soul manifested. Luo Fei's soul also held a long sword, with a feather shimmering on the outside. There was a sword mark on the feather, a sword mark cut by the soul-severing sword. Luo Fei's eyes were filled with anger as he coldly said, "I didn't expect your soul power to recover so quickly. It seems I can't play with you anymore. Your soul treasure is not bad, I want it." Lin Mo had just unleashed 4 consecutive strikes, exhausting his soul power. But with the talent tree present, his soul power recovery speed was incredibly fast. During the conversation, he had already recovered a lot, so he unleashed a 5th strike. Luo Fei suffered a small loss due to being caught off guard, and his soul defense was somewhat damaged. Lin Mo was not afraid at all. "I don't want to play with you anymore either." As soon as he finished speaking, Luo Fei suddenly felt an extreme danger. A chill rose in his heart. He felt that he was in mortal danger and could die at any moment. But Lin Mo was clearly restricted and didn't move at all. Where did this sense of crisis come from? Could it be that someone else is hiding? As soon as the thought arose, his soul suddenly exploded. Planetary level art. Corpse explosion. Lin Mo detonated the corpse of the flame demon, targeting Luo Fei's soul. Originally, the soul couldn't be hit by the explosion, but who told him to manifest his soul? After the soul manifested, it used laws as its body and the soul as its foundation, possessing a physical form. Laws protected the soul, and the soul enhanced the laws. With the cooperation of both, the soul manifestation became the strongest attack method for true gods. But the disadvantage was that the soul was too fragile. Once it received an attack beyond its limit, the laws would collapse, and the soul would be lightly injured or directly annihilated. The flame demon was also a 9th-order true god. Perhaps his strength was not as good as Luo Fei's, but the difference wouldn't be too great. Among those of the same rank, no one could withstand a corpse explosion. In Luo Fei's terrified eyes, the feathers protecting the soul shattered, the laws were destroyed, and the soul was severely impacted. Luo Fei's first reaction was to escape back to his body. At this moment, a red light flashed by. Fusion art. Curse of time. The soul attack became the last straw that broke Luo Fei's back. Luo Fei's soul turned into starlight, dissipating in the silent starry sky. His eyes quickly dimmed, completely losing their color. With Luo Fei's death, the binding force disappeared at the same time. Lin Mo flicked his finger lightly, sending out a ball of flames, instantly turning Luo Fei into a fire man. The soul that had just dissipated reunited in Luo Fei's body in a mysterious form, completing rebirth. Luo Fei also became a new revenant as a result. He knelt in front of Lin Mo, motionless. Lin Mo looked down and slowly asked, "How many humans have you killed in total?" Without thinking, Luo Fei immediately replied, 499. 499, that's quite a lot. With Luo Fei's methods, ordinary true gods would indeed find it difficult to resist. Lin Mo continued to ask, "Have you found any top-grade stellar essence fire?" Luo Fei immediately replied, "I found it, but it will take 2 more days." Tell me more about it. Chapter 1088. A trillion kilometers, the 4th stellar essence fire cluster. Lin Mo obtained all of Luo Fei's gains. Luo Fei was very wealthy. He had gained a lot from killing an arson in the battlefield over the years. Just the stellar essence fire alone numbered 3,122. In addition, there were a large number of other items. Lin Mo was too lazy to check them one by one and collected them all. Adding what he got from the flame demon, Lin Mo now had more than 6,000 stellar essence fires. At the same time as the harvest, he also learned a lot of information from Luo Fei. Top-grade stellar essence fire is actually formed by the convergence and evolution of ordinary stellar essence fire. At least 100 ordinary stellar essence fires must converge to give birth to a top-grade stellar essence fire. Top-grade stellar essence fire has the effect of increasing the fusion of arts. As for how much it can be increased, it varies from person to person. Just like Lin Mo thought, as long as there are enough top-grade stellar essence fires, he can upgrade planetary-level arts to stellar-level arts. The key to the problem is that top-grade stellar essence fire is too rare. Luo Fei had been searching for 6 full years and had only encountered 3. Each time there would be a big battle, and he had failed in 2 of them, ultimately failing to obtain the top-grade stellar essence fire. The one top-grade stellar essence fire that he obtained increased the fusion of one of his planetary-level arts from 40% to 80%, almost doubling it. If he could find another one, he could upgrade it to the stellar level. Unfortunately, Luo Fei was a bit unlucky and had not been able to find one. This time, he finally discovered another top-grade stellar essence fire that was fusing, and he was ready to snatch it. There were quite a few people who discovered it with him, and it would be another difficult battle. Luo Fei did not have full confidence. There were many strong people in the 3rd stellar essence fire cluster. Among them, there were several people whom Luo Fei admitted he was not a match for. So Luo Fei had to wait for an opportunity, preferably when they were fighting most fiercely before making a move. But he also knew that others would definitely be on guard. It was really hard to say who the top-grade stellar essence fire would end up with. Luo Fei had calculated that he had at most a 30% chance. It would take several more days for the top-grade stellar essence fire to form. He happened to see the Flame Demon and Lin Mo fighting, and he personally saw Lin Mo's soul power depleted. So he wanted to take the opportunity to kill Lin Mo. The winged race and the human race are sworn enemies, and basically, there is no end to their conflict. And what is laughable is that the winged race and the demon race are also sworn enemies. The relationships within were extremely complex. Under Luo Fei's guidance, Lin Mo, separated by hundreds of thousands of kilometers, saw the superb stellar essence fire that was fusing and gestating. The fire mass, as brilliant as the blazing sun, burned fiercely in the starry sky. Many stellar essence fires revolved around it, and from time to time, stellar essence fires would plunge into it, becoming a part of it. For stellar essence fires, this was their path of evolution. It was possible for superb essence fires to give birth to consciousness and evolve into lifeforms. There had been such examples in the past. Once a superb stellar essence fire with consciousness appeared, it would be an even more precious material. No matter what the previous fusion degree was, it could be raised to the stellar level. It was just that the probability of giving birth to consciousness was too low. Moreover, even if it was born, none of the people here could subdue it, and instead, there would be danger. To subdue a superb stellar essence fire, one needed at least the strength of a true god peak. But if the other party possessed consciousness, then at least a god king level of strength would be needed. For people like Luo Fei, who needed to have the strength to fight across borders, subduing it became extremely difficult. In history, several times when superb stellar essence fires gave birth to consciousness, they would kill a large number of true God Ninth Order people. Lin Mo asked many questions and learned a lot of information from Luo Fei. After all, he had been here for many years, and coupled with his own different strength, what he knew was far more than others. According to Luo Fei, beyond the 3rd stellar essence fire cluster, continuing to go deeper by hundreds of billions of kilometers would reach the 4th stellar essence fire cluster. There, the number of superb stellar essence fires was even greater, and superb stellar essence fires with consciousness would appear. It was just that going there was very dangerous, with a large number of dark stars and flash stars along the way. After arriving, one also had to pay attention to the flash fires, and finally subdue the superb stellar essence fire. If one did not have the strength of a God King realm, it would be no different from going to die. Even if a God King came, their strength would also be suppressed to the true God Ninth Order, and there would still be danger. But Lin Mo was not afraid of this kind of danger, he knew where he should go next. The 4th stellar essence fire cluster, the flash stars along the way, the flash fires in the essence fire cluster, and the superb stellar essence fire, were all what he needed. How could he not go to such a good place? He gave the resurgent Luo Fei an order, telling him to absorb the human race's hostile races over the next 2 days. If he faced several true God Peak powerhouses at the same time, he would also feel a headache. While there were still a few days left, Lin Mo also had to make some preparations. He was determined to get the superb stellar essence fire. Luo Fei obeyed the order and left, while Lin Moi restrained his aura and hid. The starry sky was very large. As long as he didn't expose himself casually, it would not be easy for others to find him. Lin Moi always maintained a distance of 500,000 kilometers from the superb stellar essence fire. This distance he could reach in only 10 seconds. Moreover, the entire superb stellar essence fire was under his nose, and nothing unexpected would happen. Half a day later, Luo Shi brought back the first prey. This time it was the Silverhorn race, which was also one of the races that besieged the human race, belonging to a hereditary enemy. The Silverhorn race was named for the silver horn on their heads. Their silver horns were born with the law of lightning, and after adulthood, they were best at manipulating the law of lightning. Most Silverhorn races could change the law of lightning, turning it into an even stronger explosive lightning law. Luo Fei pretended to be weak, fleeing in front. The Silverhorn race was constantly chasing and killing behind. Lin Moi didn't know what Luo Fei had done to him, but looking at his appearance, he was extremely angry. The two kept chasing and fleeing, and soon came to the location Lin Moi had set up. Luo Fei suddenly turned around, using the law of binding with all his strength, and at the same time unfolding the law of leadership. The feather phantom occupied the starry sky, firmly trapping the Silverhorn race. The Silverhorn race roared angrily, and a silver horn burst out with a large amount of lightning. The lightning turned into thousands of lightning beads, exploding in the starry sky. In the roar, Luo Fei's law of binding became unstable, and would collapse at any time. Logically speaking, at this time, Luo Fei would either flash away, or use soul manifestation to make a final gamble. But Luo Fei didn't use either, he just used his own law to continue controlling the Silverhorn race. The Silverhorn race roared loudly. The law of binding of U-winged races only has the power of restraint, and does not have the effect of killing. You are not my opponent, dare to provoke me, just wait obediently to die. I 1/4. Before he could finish speaking, tens of thousands of skeleton god generals suddenly appeared in the starry sky, surrounding him from all directions. What is this? The Silverhorn race was stunned, not understanding how so many skeletons had suddenly appeared. Then, before he could react, dense sword energy completely submerged him. The Silverhorn race was controlled by Luo Fei, unable to avoid it, and could only endure all the attacks of the skeleton god generals. Every sword energy of the skeleton god generals reached the level of true god 9th order, and every sword energy could cause damage to it. For a time, the skin was torn and the flesh was broken, and the screams did not stop. 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves of sword energy flew over. The screams became weaker and weaker, until they completely disappeared. Chapter 1089 Tricolor Essence Fire, Starry Sky Fishmen Race. The Silverhorn race died miserably. There was not a single piece of good meat on his body, and he was almost completely dismembered. On his body, there was originally a true god realm upper-grade defensive magic weapon, but at this time it was also completely shattered. Tens of thousands of skeletons, continuous rounds of attacks, nearly 100,000 true god 9th order sword energy fell on him. How could he withstand it? In the undead flames, the injuries on the Silverhorn race's body recovered, the soul reunited, and once again possessed a short life. He gave the Silverhorn race the same order, letting him and Luo Fei act separately, attracting more people over. Lin Moi was still in the same place, waiting for the rabbit. Soon, the second prey and the third prey were hooked. Luo Fei's law of binding was too easy to use. With him there, it was difficult for the prey to have the power to resist. In fact, Lin Moi knew that his bone prison was also easy to use, even stronger than Luo Fei's law of binding. The main reason was that his own realm was not enough. The bone prison could only trap enemies of true god 5th order and 6th order at most. Fortunately, later on, Luo Fei stopped acting here. The matter of attracting prey was left to other resurgents. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed, and Lin Moi already had 20 resurgents under his command. 2 days later, under Lin Moi's gaze, the superb stellar essence fire completely took shape. Red, orange, yellow. It released tricolor brilliance, the 3 colors intertwined in the flames, and turned into countless beautiful colors, which were very charming. 297 Lin Moi knew that the superb stellar essence fire in front of him was also known as tricolor essence fire. Tricolor essence fire was composed of about 100 ordinary stellar essence fires, and was the most common type of superb stellar essence fire. Generally speaking, it could increase the fusion degree of spells by about 20% to 30%. Moreover, it could not transform planetary-level spells into stellar-level spells. Even if the fusion degree of the previous planetary-level spell had reached 99%, it was useless, its limit was just like that, there was no way to do anything about it. To upgrade a planetary-level spell to the stellar level, at least a 5-colored essence fire was needed. Similarly, tricolor essence fire could not give birth to independent consciousness. Seeing that it was just tricolor essence, Lin Moi's eyes showed a slight disappointment. However, being able to get tricolor essence fire was also a good opportunity, at least it could greatly improve the fusion of one of his planetary-level spells. Now he still had 6 spells in the planetary-level state, among which the soul-calming spell taught to him by Antares could never be upgraded to the stellar level, and could be ignored. Among the other 5, the fusion degree of Summon Skeleton King was the lowest, only 30%. This was also the spell that Lin Moi wanted to improve first. He wanted to see if, after Summon Skeleton King became a stellar-level spell, it could form a 9-star DBAI spell system with other summoning spells. The tricolor refined fire completely took shape, emitting a massive power outwards. The surrounding temperature rapidly increased, instantly turning an area of 100,000 kilometers into a sea of fire. Within the sea of fire, dark figures flickered. The true gods who had been waiting for many days revealed their true forms, rushing towards the tricolor refined fire. Immense laws collided in the starry sky, and a great battle erupted on the spot. The tricolor refined fire is mine. Whoever dares to snatch it, I'll slaughter him. The speaker was a true god of the Bull Demon clan. The Bull Demon clan is powerful in combat and has always been extremely assertive. In addition, their temperament is so fiery that they are defiant of everyone. They are known as bulls who die facing the sky. Even if they die, their horns must face the sky, expressing their defiance. The Bull Demon clan's powerhouse is called Niuda, Bull Big, and he is one of the people that Luo Fei is wary of. Bullshit. A wild bull dares to boast shamelessly. I'll chop off your bull head and drink it as wine. Another voice rang out, arrogant and full of killing intent. This time, the speaker was a human powerhouse. Among the various races in the great world, the human race's talent is not outstanding, and their combat power in the same realm is also the same. However, some geniuses always emerge from the human race, capable of fighting beyond their level, suppressing the other races until they have no temper. Lin Moyu knew that this person was called Qian Huang, Money Emperor. Luo Fei had suffered losses in his hands, and was almost killed by him several times. As soon as Qian Huang's voice fell, another soft voice rang out, "Why don't you two have a good fight, and just give the tricolor refined fire to this princess?" Although the voice was soft, it was extremely domineering. A beautiful woman, draped in starlight and moonlight, slowly flew over. She wore a light gauze, her movements were gentle, and with a wave of her slender hand, starlight sprinkled down. Niuda and Qian Huang's expressions changed simultaneously, and they quickly retreated, obviously unwilling to confront the starlight. Lin Moyu could feel that the starlight contained killing intent. Although it was also the law of starlight, it was full of killing intent in her hands. Her name was Yu Qingru, fish gently, and she was the princess of the starlight fish human race. Among the people Luo Fei was wary of, she ranked first. Looking at her appearance, she was beautiful and moving, her figure was graceful, and her speech was gentle. But in Luo Fei's description, she was an incredibly terrifying woman. The starlight fish human race, although it also has the word human, has nothing to do with the human race. However, the two sides are not hostile races, and there is not much contact between them. The starlight fish human race is very mysterious. In the information Lin Moyu had read, there were only a few brief records, without much information. However, seeing Qian Huang and Niu Da's reaction, coupled with what Luo Fei had said, Lin Moyu developed a trace of apprehension towards Yu Qingru. Lin Moyu felt that Yu Qingru was not ordinary, and her eyes did not seem to value the tricolor refined fire. Unlike other people's eyes when looking at the tricolor refined fire, which were full of greed and possessiveness. It felt like her eyes were more like playing an interesting game, and true god peaks like Qian Huang and Niu Da were just toys in her hands. Lin Moyu didn't move for the time being, planning to wait and see. Yu Qingru giggled repeatedly, "Since you two don't dare to make a move, then this princess won't be polite." Saying that, she gently padded towards the tricolor refined fire, conjuring a delicate palm in the starry sky, grabbing towards the tricolor refined fire. On the palm, there was a teardrop-shaped item, which had the effect of absorbing the tricolor refined fire. Niuda's explosive temper flared up, and he angrily said, courting death. Don't think I won't kill women. Niuda roared, taking out his weapon. A giant-handled axe several meters long, he swung the axe, sweeping across the starry sky. In an instant, axe shadows layer upon layer, hundreds of huge axe shadows exceeding 1,000 meters in length appeared in the starry sky, severing Yu Qingru's palm shadow. Qian Huang didn't make a move, but instead retreated a distance. Anyone with eyes could see that he was planning to watch the show. Yu Qingru waved a piece of starlight in her giggling voice, the starlight rained down on the axe shadow, and the axe shadow shattered on the spot. Then the starlight turned into arrows, shooting swiftly towards Niuda. One axe to open the heavens. Niuda didn't dodge or evade, and swung another axe amidst his roar. A giant axe tens of thousands of grown-up instantly appeared in the starry sky, shattering the starlight arrows, and hacking down on Yu Qingru's head. Yu Qingru was still giggling, without the slightest fear. Not only did she not block, but she looked to the side, looking as if she had given up. In the direction her gaze reached, there was a flying snake clan of true god rank 9. Suddenly, the flying snake clan's figure disappeared, and Yu Qingru appeared in the position where the flying snake clan was. And the flying snake clan appeared in the position where Yu Qingru had been, the two sides completing the position exchange in an instant. Moreover, after completing the position exchange, the flying snake clan actually fell into a state of bondage, unable to move. Niuda's axe, which had clearly carried out soul locking, now had its locking target changed to the flying snake clan. No, the flying snake clan shouted in horror, but it was to no avail. Niuda's axe shattered him into pieces on the spot. Chapter 1090, The Powerful Yu Qingru, The Law of Space. The whole world seemed to quiet down, and the atmosphere seemed a bit strange. Anyone who saw this scene would have a creepy feeling. No one knew how Yu Qingru did it, or why the positions of the two people would be exchanged. That flying snake clan member inexplicably became Yu Qingru's scapegoat. The Starlight Fish people are very mysterious, and their information is rarely circulated outside, so few people know about their secret arts. Most people only know that the Starlight Fish human race is very difficult to provoke, and it is better not to provoke them if possible. Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes moving smoothly, looking around. The people she swept over all retreated, somewhat terrified. Unknown things are often the most scary. Damn it, take another axe from me. One axe to open the heavens. Zuda didn't believe in evil, and swung another axe. 10,000 meters of axe shadow descended from the sky, smashing down on Yu Qingru. Zuda had a cruel smile, his soul firmly locked onto Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru was not afraid at all, tilted her head, showing a bit of a playful look, and looked around. Everyone retreated quickly, afraid of being seen by her and following in the footsteps of the flying snake clan. It's you. Yu Qingru's gaze finally landed on Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu was slightly stunned. Why choose himself? Could it be because he was the easiest to bully, with the worst cultivation? Lin Mo Yu saw a space crack thinner than a hair in front of him, a force gushing, like a pair of big hands, wanting to drag him in. At the same time, this force also formed a spatial constraint, wanting to trap him. A white light flashed on Lin Mo Yu's body, collapsing the power of the space crack, and he didn't move at all. Yu Qingru exclaimed softly, she didn't expect her secret technique to fail. At this time, the giant axe overhead had arrived. Yu Qingru sighed softly, and an exquisite long sword appeared in her hand. Waving it casually, the long sword streaked in the starry sky, like chopping glass. The huge axe shadow was chopped into pieces. The strength of the power is very obvious. Niuda and Yu Qingru are simply not opponents on the same level. Niuda stared at Yu Qingru in disbelief. At the moment Yu Qingru drew her sword, he felt as if he was not facing an opponent in the same realm as himself, but a god king. Not only him, Qian Huang also had a similar feeling. Yu Qingru didn't take Niuda seriously at all, everything seemed like a game in her eyes. She is now very interested in Lin Mo Yu, why her unfailing secret technique has lost its effect on Lin Mo Yu. She had no idea that Lin Mo Yu possessed a passive spell, rendering him immune to any abnormal status effects. If the spatial rift had simply used brute force to drag him in, Lin Mo Yu might have had to resist. But since she wanted to add a layer of binding force, trapping him in a state of restraint, Lin Mo Yu instantly became immune. As long as he wasn't bound, the subsequent power wasn't particularly strong. Naturally, it wouldn't have any effect on Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu watched Yu Qingru with great interest. Spatial laws. He sensed the laws that Yu Qingru was using, which were indeed spatial laws. This was the first time he had encountered someone who had mastered a Tier 1 law. The difficulty of comprehending Tier 1 laws was such that it was said to be 1 in billions in the great world. Among the entire human race, with its countless billions of people, only a handful could comprehend Tier 1 laws. He didn't expect that Yu Qingru had actually comprehended spatial laws. The starry skyfish people were not only mysterious but also powerful. Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes curved into crescents. "You're very interesting." Lin Mo Yu softly asked, "Why choose me?" "You know the answer," Yu Qingru smiled. "It seems my realm is still not high enough." Lin Mo Yu sighed softly. "The starry skyfish people have always been free of grievances with the human race. Aren't you afraid of creating enmity between the two sides by doing this?" Yu Qingru giggled. "Little one, aren't you overestimating yourself? Would your human race form a grudge against my starry skyfish people for the sake of one person?" Yu Qingru claimed to be a princess of the starry skyfish people, but no one knew how significant her princess status was. But from her words, one could analyze a clue. Her position within the clan was clearly not low. Lin Mo Yu said, "Some things are hard to say." Yu Qingru giggled continuously, her waist swaying like a willow. "It's getting more and more fun." Lin Mo Yu also smiled. "I also think it's getting more and more fun. I didn't expect to encounter someone who has mastered spatial laws." The laughter stopped abruptly, and a hint of surprise appeared in Yu Qingru's eyes. "You can actually tell it's spatial laws." Lin Mo Yu smiled, using spatial laws to bind the opponent and then switch positions. The princess's long sword is also entwined with spatial laws, doubling its power. The surprise in Yu Qingru's eyes became more and more obvious. She didn't expect that Lin Mo Yu not only saw what laws she had mastered but could also analyze how she used them. This insight completely exceeded her expectations. Listening to the conversation between the two, the surrounding people realized that Yu Qingru had actually mastered spatial laws. Spatial laws were Tier 1 laws, and among the Tier 1 laws, they were top-ranked. At the same realm and with the same strength, if the laws were a level apart, the strength would differ by an unknown amount. How could they fight? Could it be that my axe opening the heavens was so easily broken because of spatial laws? No wonder. Zhu Da swallowed his saliva and muttered. The people of the Bull Demon clan were just like that, fiery with straightforwardness. They were honest. If they lost and wouldn't try to cover it up. Qian Huang secretly rejoiced that he hadn't acted, otherwise, even if he didn't die, he would definitely be embarrassed. His strength was not much different from Niu Da's. If Niu Da couldn't beat Yu Qingru, he certainly couldn't either. Everyone then understood why Yu Qingru hadn't taken them seriously from the beginning. Niu Da said, "I don't want the three-colored essence fire anymore, goodbye." Nonsense, if he kept going, his life would be gone. It was just the three-colored essence fire. If he lost it, he could find it again, but if his life was gone, he would have nothing. Yu Qingru turned to look at Niu Da. "You chopped me twice, and that's it." Niu Da was stunned. "What does Princess Qingru want?" Yu Qingru said, "You chopped me twice, then I'll chop you once. If you can survive, we're even." Niu Da's eyes darted around, and he said in a muffled voice, "Okay." He had to take this sword strike. He knew very well that facing Yu Qingru, who had mastered spatial laws, if she didn't let him leave, he wouldn't be able to leave at all. Niu Da let out a soft shout. The bull horns on his head shone brightly, the law domain opened, and a heavy armor appeared on his body. "Princess, please draw your sword." Yu Qingru lightly waved her sword, looking soft and weak, not like fighting, more like a beauty dancing with a sword in a performance, just twirling the sword. Niu Da's expression changed drastically, and a sword light suddenly flashed in his eyes. His law domain was torn to pieces like paper. The sword light advanced rapidly, tearing through the law domain and slamming heavily into Niu Da's heavy armor. The armor shone brightly, bursting out with a powerful aura. Everyone then realized that this armor was also a divine king realm magic treasure. "Block it, block it!" Niu Da roared repeatedly, activating the armor to its limit. The two sides were deadlocked for 2 seconds. Niu Da let out a scream, and the whole person flew out, with horror on his face. In midair, he took out a talisman and crushed it fiercely. A ball of soft light wrapped around him and disappeared. Chapter 1091. The Spirit of the Magic Treasure. How about a bet? Everyone was shocked by Yu Qingru's casual sword. Niu Da, the peak true god, a powerful bull demon clan member, was seriously injured and fled in embarrassment in this sword. The La domain was torn open like rags, and the Divine King realm armor almost collapsed. It showed that Yu Qingru's sword truly reached the Divine King realm, and Yu Qingru had the strength to fight across realms. Fighting beyond one's level, many geniuses present could do it. But fighting across realms, everyone present looked at Yu Qingru in horror, and when her beautiful eyes swept over them, they couldn't help but retreat a distance. Qian Huang had a hint of rejoicing in his eyes, rejoicing that he hadn't taken action, otherwise, he would have been the one injured. Only Lin Moyu remained motionless, not retreating a step. But his not retreating a step, in the eyes of others, felt like he was frightened. Yu Qingru sighed faintly. After a sword, you and I are clear, why did you have to escape? When these words were spoken, everyone in the 720 scene couldn't help but twitch their mouths a few times. Who couldn't see that Niu Da was seriously injured? If he didn't leave, was he waiting for his enemies to come to his door? He wasn't a fool, of course, he had to leave first. Didn't you see that several people had already secretly left to find Niu Da? It was hard to say whether Niu Da could leave safely in the end. How could Yu Qingru not understand this? Everyone's reactions were taken in by her. She revealed a look of, people are very simple, but it made people feel even more afraid. After all, that wasn't true simplicity. Some people felt that Yu Qingru was very scheming and had a very deep city. Lin Moyu felt that Yu Qingru was like in another world, looking at everyone with a condescending gaze. To her, it was like playing a game. It was like this from the beginning, and this feeling was getting stronger now. Yu Qingru said faintly, everyone, is there anyone else who wants to compete with this princess for the three-colored essence fire? Everyone was silent, looking at the three-colored essence fire that was close at hand, and then looking at Yu Qingru, looking at the sword in Yu Qingru's hand. Compared to the three-colored essence fire, their own lives were more important. Yu Qingru chuckled, since that's the case, then please retreat tens of millions of kilometers and don't get close. Otherwise, this princess's sword has a bad temper. The long sword in her hand suddenly vibrated slightly, making a loud and crisp sword sound. Everyone's expression changed drastically again, and someone exclaimed, a weapon spirit. Lin Mo also felt a slight shock in his heart, recalling information about weapon spirits. Weapon spirits, also known as the spirits of magical treasures. They refer to intelligence born within magical treasures. Once a magical treasure develops intelligence, its power greatly increases. Similar to cultivators battling opponents above their level, the level of the magical treasure increases by at least one level, or even two. Magical treasures also have 3 grades within each level: low, medium, and high. His soul-slaying sword and War King Tower are both high-grade Divine King Realm magical treasures with immense power, but they don't possess weapon spirits. If there were a low-grade Divine King Realm magical treasure with a weapon spirit, its power would at least be comparable to a mid-grade Divine King Realm magical treasure. It could even rival a high-grade Divine King Realm magical treasure. The longsword in Yu Qingru's hand is a low-grade Divine King Realm magical treasure, but it has given birth to a weapon spirit. In other words, the power of this sword is at least mid-grade Divine King Realm, or even high-grade. But it is itself a low-grade Divine King Realm magical treasure, making it easier to wield. It can unleash greater attack power with less power, and Lin Mo has to admit that the longsword in Yu Qingru's hand is better than his soul-slaying sword. A true god peak, mastering the law of space, coupled with a Divine King Realm magical treasure possessing a weapon spirit. Yu Qingru is indeed qualified to be proud. After her longsword revealed its weapon spirit, the last trace of greed in everyone was severed. One by one, they retreated, and no matter how unwilling they were, they couldn't risk their lives. Qian Huang also sighed softly, it seems that I am not destined for this fire. Princess Qingru, I, Qian, will take my leave. Among everyone present, Qian Yu could be considered a notable figure, and Yu Qingru also regarded him highly, nodding slightly, farewell. Qian Huang did not hesitate and turned to leave. Lin Mo's heart stirred, and all the resurrected ones also retreated one after another. In an instant, everyone present had retreated tens of millions of kilometers. Only Lin Mo remained motionless, standing there. Yu Qingru tilted her head, revealing a curious look, why aren't you leaving? Facing Yu Qingru's innocence, Lin Mo smiled slightly, because I also want to obtain the tricolor essence fire. Yu Qingru oed and gently twirled her sword. Aren't you afraid of death? I am, Lin Mo said truthfully. Who wouldn't be afraid of death? He used to be able to not fear death, but not anymore. Yu Qingru asked strangely, since you're afraid, why don't you leave? Aren't you afraid I'll kill you? Lin Mo shook his head, it's still uncertain who will win. Hee hee, Yu Qingru covered her mouth and chuckled. She found Lin Mo very interesting, extremely interesting. When Lin Mo said this, he seemed very serious, as if he really believed it. A mere true god second stage little guy, even if he's a genius with the ability to fight above his level, is still too arrogant. Yu Qingru laughed for a while, you're really interesting. It seems a bit of a pity to kill you. Lin Mo said, our human race and the starry sky fish people race have no grudges for generations, so I don't want to kill you either. How about this, let's make a bet. Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes lit up, what bet? Tell me. Lin Mo said, you strike me with a sword. If I can survive, then this tricolor essence fire will belong to me, and while I'm absorbing it, you have to protect me, not allowing anyone to disturb me. Yu Qingru looked at Lin Mo with a smile, you're using your own life as a bet, but what benefit would I get from doing that? Lin Mo said, if I die, then everything on me will naturally belong to you. Yu Qingru smiled even more happily, little guy, what do you have that this princess would fancy? Don't mention stellar essence fire, this princess doesn't want that kind of thing. Lin Mo stretched out his hand, and the soul-slaying sword appeared in his hand, how about this? I'll use it as a bet. Yu Qingru glanced at it, a high-grade Divine King Realm magical treasure, and a soul-type one at that. Seems not bad. Lin Mo naturally knew that the soul-slaying sword was valuable, and it should be enough to use it as a bet. Indeed, Yu Qingru was very interested in the soul-slaying sword. Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes glowed faintly, you're not afraid that this princess will kill you and steal your treasure? Lin Mo chuckled lightly, I said, it's still uncertain who will win. I just don't want the two races to become enemies. As he spoke, Lin Mo gently triggered the black star beast leg that Chu Shang had given him, and at the same time, his soul locked onto Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru suddenly felt a sense of danger, her heart palpitating, and a chill spreading from the depths of her soul. She felt as if she was facing a life or death crisis, and could lose her life at any moment. And this feeling was brought about by the human kid in front of her. A mere true god second stage, yet he could make her feel a fatal danger. Even Zhu Da and Qian Huang, who were at the peak of true god, she had never taken seriously. Now she had to look at Lin Mo in a different light. This person really has the means to kill her. Yu Qingru smiled, all right then, this princess will strike you with a sword. If you survive, this tricolor essence fire will be yours. Chapter 1092, Absorbing the Tricolor Essence Fire, the Princess Protects the Law. The bet was made. A barely perceptible smile flashed in Lin Mo's eyes. He had long expected Yu Qingru to agree. The temptation of the soul-slaying sword was not small, enough to make her agree to the bet. Lin Mo not only tempted her with the soul-slaying sword, but also used her pride. At the same time, he subtly told her that he really had the ability to fight her to the death. If she wanted to seize the soul-slaying sword, she would have to pay a great price, even her life. It was still uncertain who would win. Lin Mo wasn't just saying it casually. No matter how strong Yu Qingru was, she was only at the 9th stage of True God. The Black Star Leg Beast was enough to blast an 8th stage Divine King to death, blasting her open wouldn't be a problem. The sword in Yu Qingru's hand was glowing slightly, and it could be seen that a large number of cracks appeared in the space around the sword. This sword carried Yu Qingru's law of space, which was very powerful. Yu Qingru's eyes smiled, little guy, this sword is 10 times stronger than the one just now. Her voice was very pleasant, although it didn't have the soft, sweet words of the butterfly clan, it was very crisp, like pearls falling into a jade plate. But the voice also carried a chill. Lin Mo knew that this sword was very strong, at least a Divine King realm attack, but for him, it was not a problem. He put away the bone armor. In the face of a Divine King realm attack, the bone armor was useless. It was also to avoid arousing spell linkage and causing unnecessary trouble. Yu Qingru slashed out a beam of sword light, which flashed past her and then appeared in front of Lin Mo. The attack of the law of space could instantly cross hundreds of millions of kilometers, making it impossible to dodge. The sword light exploded in front of Lin Mo, completely engulfing Lin Mo. In the spell constellation, the skeletons collectively collapsed, quickly reborn, and then collapsed again. They collapsed 5 times in a row before stopping. The power in the sword had been exhausted and failed to activate the full rebirth talent. Lin Mo found that he had overestimated the opponent's attack. Although this sword was a bit stronger than Lu Hong's, it was still within the range of the first stage of the Divine King. With this sword, Lin Mo also understood that if he wanted to activate his talent with one blow, he would need at least the attack power of the second stage of the Divine King. The sword light gradually extinguished, and Lin Mo's figure reappeared. Yu Qingru couldn't hide the surprise in her heart, staring with wide eyes. "You're actually okay." Lin Mo was unharmed, still standing there, as if the scene just now had never happened. Yu Qingru knew too well the power of her sword. How could Lin Mo block it? Lin Mo smiled. "Should something be wrong with me? If Princess Qingru is not assured, you can try another sword." Yu Qingru tilted her head and thought, but couldn't figure out why Lin Mo was okay. She could even let her slash another sword. Judging by Lin Mo's confident appearance, he wasn't talking nonsense. But if she slashed another sword, with her arrogant personality, she would definitely not be able to do it. Yu Qingru put away her long sword. "I'll concede since I lost the bet. The tricolor essence fire is yours. Go absorb it, I'll protect you." Lin Mo Yu bowed slightly towards Yu Qingru. "Thank you, Princess Qingru." As he spoke, Lin Mo Yu came before the tricolor essence fire. His soul force vibrated slightly, and he opened his mouth to inhale, drawing a large amount of the tricolor essence fire into his body. As soon as the tricolor essence fire entered his body, it surged towards his soul, turning his entire soul world into a sea of fire. Lin Mo Yu had already considered using it to enhance the fusion of corpse explosion. If it were a quad-color essence fire, Lin Mo Yu might have chosen to use it to enhance Summon Skeleton King, gambling on whether he could turn Summon Skeleton King into a stellar-level spell. But now it was clear that the tricolor essence fire couldn't elevate a planetary-level spell to stellar level, making it pointless to use it on Summon Skeleton King. Summon Skeleton King couldn't be used until it reached stellar level. 1% fusion was no different from 99% fusion, making no difference. In that case, it would be better to enhance corpse explosion, at least truly increasing the spell's power. A gap opened in his soul world, allowing the tricolor essence fire to enter smoothly. Lin Mo Yu was about to guide it towards the spell planet of corpse explosion when the tricolor essence fire suddenly seemed to find a new target, rushing towards the stellar fire seed. The stellar fire seed immediately began to absorb the tricolor essence fire in large gulps, bursting forth with an even stronger life aura, and began to grow vigorously. This change caught Lin Mo Yu off guard, as he hadn't expected the tricolor essence fire to repair the stellar fire seed. But thinking about it, it made sense. Stellar essence fire was the essence of a star, and the stellar fire seed was the essence of that essence. It could be said that the stellar fire seed was a treasure born from stellar essence fire. Now, in its damaged state, the stellar fire seed naturally attracted the attention of the stellar essence fire. And the stellar essence fire also had the ability to repair the stellar fire seed. Thus, the two merged in an incredibly wonderful way. Lin Mo Yu witnessed this miraculous event with his own eyes, as all the cracks on the surface of the stellar fire seed disappeared. Then, it bloomed like a fiery peony, forming a flower of flames. The stellar fire seed was finally repaired, entering the stage of gestation and growth. A wave of heat washed over him, giving Lin Mo Yu a feeling like a spring breeze, truly like spring blossoming. The fire seed had bloomed into a flower, and now it only needed to mature before it could be used. The effect of the stellar fire seed was much better than that of the tricolor essence fire, as it could elevate a spell from planetary level to stellar level. Outside, Yu Qingru's eyes gleamed, and she grew more curious about Lin Mo Yu. This human gave her a different feeling from others, very unique. Despite being only at the second-order true god realm, he possessed such amazing defense, able to survive unscathed under her sword. Yu Qingru knew that no one else present could have withstood her sword. Only this guy before her, she couldn't see through him. From the initial failure to use him as a scapegoat, to the failure of her sword strike just now. A second-order true god possessed the law of an upper-level god king, and could even pose a life-threatening danger to her. Lin Mo Yu was full of mystery. The more mysterious he was, the more interested she became. It was like a game where a mutation suddenly appeared, attracting her to solve the puzzle and overcome the challenge. At this moment, Lin Mo Yu was completely enveloped by the tricolor essence fire, turning into a fire person. Lin Mo Yu sat cross-legged in the fire, his expression calm, absorbing the tricolor essence fire. The tricolor essence fire was also shrinking at an alarming rate. His absorption speed is so fast. Could it be that his soul is stronger than mine? Yu Qingru said softly. She had also absorbed tricolor essence fire before, but her absorption speed didn't seem as fast as Lin Mo Yu's. The faster the absorption speed, the stronger the soul. Yu Qingru couldn't believe it. She didn't think Lin Mo Yu's soul could surpass her own. She retracted her gaze and looked towards the other side, where a foreign race was rushing towards them. His appearance broke the tranquility here. Yu Qingru frowned slightly, courting death. The long sword reappeared in her hand, and she swung it towards the opponent. A flash of sword light passed, a scream rang out, and the rushing foreign race flew back at an even more alarming speed. This sword made those who originally wanted to come forward retreat again, not daring to advance. Yu Qingru didn't waste any words, she used action to tell everyone, don't mess with me. Chapter 1093. If I don't protect him, who will protect me in the future? Someone saw that Yu Qingru didn't absorb the tricolor essence fire. They also saw that Lin Mo Yu had survived unscathed under her seemingly powerful sword. Some had thoughts, thinking that Yu Qingru was just bluffing before, and once again had ideas about the tricolor essence fire. Some daring ones even directly put it into action. As a result, Yu Qingru gave the other party a resounding slap in the face with her sword. A ninth-order true god was killed with a single sword strike, his corpse not even remaining. Everyone's little thoughts immediately died down. Yu Qingru's gaze turned slightly cold, and she looked at Lin Mo Yu again. If she were to strike now, she believed she could definitely kill Lin Mo Yu. But she wouldn't do that, it wasn't in her nature. Now she understood a little, she seemed to have been set up by Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu definitely knew he could withstand her sword, even two swords. That's why he made this bet with her, and used the upper-level God King Realm treasure to lure her in. The firelight on Lin Mo Yu's body grew weaker and weaker, and finally the tricolor essence fire was completely absorbed. Lin Mo Yu sighed inwardly, the stellar fire seed was only a little bit away from being fully gestated. Now the flower had already bloomed, and there were still a few petals that hadn't fully matured and blossomed. The stellar fire seed was burning fiercely, like a child waiting to be fed, waiting for the next mouthful of milk. If there was another tricolor essence fire, the stellar fire seed could be completely restored. Having finished absorbing, Lin Mo Yu felt Yu Qingru's gaze, opened his eyes, and saw Yu Qingru looking at him with a smile. But this smile gave him a somewhat eerie feeling. Little guy, you have a lot of thoughts, and you're quite bold, you even schemed against this princess. Yu Qingru spoke softly and gently, as her name suggested, smiling softly and gently. But in Lin Mo Yu's eyes, it gave off a creepy feeling. Lin Mo Yu smiled slightly, Princess Qingru is intelligent and perceptive. Stop, you humans, you just have too many thoughts, flattering me is useless, save your breath. Yu Qingru interrupted Lin Mo Yu's words. Lin Mo Yu smiled and stopped talking. Anyway, the tricolor essence fire had already been absorbed by him, what else could she do? Lin Mo Yu also knew that Yu Qingru wouldn't really attack him. And he wasn't afraid either. Yu Qingru thought for a while, how about this, let's just say you owe me a favor, and let's just forget about this matter. Lin Mo Yu agreed without even thinking, okay. Yu Qingru's words were equivalent to giving him a way out, and Lin Mo Yu readily agreed. Yu Qingru giggled, what's your name? Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu didn't hide anything, answering truthfully. Yu Qingru nodded, Lin Mo Yu, this princess has remembered it. As she spoke, Yu Qingru took a lotus step, gradually turning into a phantom, disappearing like a bubble. Lin Mo Yu knew that she had left with the law of space. Mastering the laws of space allows one to traverse the void, ignoring distance. Lin Mo Yu felt a tinge of envy, but then remembered he also possessed a sliver of the laws of space, though now wasn't the time to comprehend them. When he reached God Sovereign in the future, he would one day master the laws of space. With Yu Qingru gone, many who had retreated earlier returned. They feared Yu Qingru, but not Lin Mo Yu. Someone said menacingly, boy, what's your relationship with Yu Qingru? Why did she give you the tricolor starfire? Everyone believed that the sword strike Lin Mo Yu received was just for show. Otherwise, how could a mere true god stage 2 kid withstand Yu Qingru's sword? It could only be said that Yu Qingru had gone easy on him. Someone sized Lin Mo Yu up and down, with ill intentions, boy, did you sell your body? The human race and the starry sky fish people race were 80 or 90% similar in appearance, with only minor details differing. The aesthetics of the two races were considered close. Boy, you just absorbed the tricolor starfire, you definitely haven't fully digested it. Hand over the excess, and I'll let you off. A true god stage 2 being able to come here means his strength isn't bad. He's a human genius. If he dies here, the human race would be heartbroken. Little friend, are you interested in playing with this older sister? Do you have any secrets? Tell us, and we'll share them together. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed slightly as he looked at these guys, finding it somewhat amusing. Without Yu Qingru to keep them in check, a bunch of devils and monsters had emerged. Among them were races with ferocious appearances and races with bizarre shapes. There were males and females, or rather, some couldn't be called females, but rather, females. Most completely surpassed the aesthetics of the human race, looking extremely ugly. Murderous intent gradually surged. At this moment, Qian Huang flew over and stood in front of Lin Moyu, roaring at the crowd, "Shut up. This is a genius of my human race, it's not your place to talk about him." Qian Huang had the strength of a true god peak, and apart from Yu Qingru, he didn't fear these guys. "Qian Huang, although this guy is of the same race as you, there are so many of us. Can you protect him? That's right, is it worth risking your life here for a little guy? You need to think carefully. Your combat power isn't much stronger than ours, we don't mind killing one more." Qian Huang's face turned ugly. These people were right. If they joined forces, he indeed wouldn't be a match. But Lin Moyu and he were both of the human race, and humans abroad must help each other. Qian Huang quickly made a decision: if I don't protect my fellow clansmen today, what face will I have to return to the clan in the future? If I'm in danger, who will protect me? Moreover, if you want to kill Qian, you have to pay the price. Let's see how many I can drag down with me. Qian Huang took out his magic weapon, and the law surged, already prepared for a desperate fight. This attitude instead made others somewhat fearful. Qian Huang wasn't weak, and if he fought to the death, he might really be able to drag a few down with him. No one wanted to die, and for a time, no one dared to be the first to step forward. Qian Huang turned his head and said in a low voice, "Little brother, I'll take you out of here." His eyes were firm, and Lin Moyu even felt a will to die from him. Facing hundreds of powerhouses of the same realm, the probability of Qian Huang being able to break out wasn't high. Lin Moyu said, "Thank you, senior, they seem to be starting an internal strife." Qian Huang was slightly stunned, and a scream suddenly rang in his ears. A demon suddenly launched a sneak attack, instantly severely injuring an alien race beside him. At this time, others also took action, attacking the alien races around them. The scene suddenly became chaotic. Those who took action were naturally the resurrected ones controlled by Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu deliberately placed the resurrected ones among the crowd, and at this time, they suddenly attacked. "What are you doing? We have no grievances or hatred with your race, why are you attacking me? You're crazy, you're all crazy. How dare you hit me, you're courting death." The laws surged, and various law domains collided in the starry sky. Roars and shouts of killing rang out. This starry sky was completely plunged into chaos. Qian Huang didn't know what was happening, but he knew what he should do now, and shouted, "Quick, let's go." Taking advantage of the chaos to slip away, there was no better opportunity than now. He took the lead, found a direction and killed his way out, waving his broadsword and cutting out a path. Lin Moyu also smiled slightly, and followed Qian Huang. Chapter 1094, Beating Me. We'll see about that. The direction Qian Huang chose was precisely the most chaotic direction. The battle there was extremely fierce, but the more chaotic it was, the greater the opportunity for Qian Huang. He waved his broadsword, forcibly cutting out a path. "Qian Huang, don't think about escaping." Someone discovered that Qian Huang was about to escape and immediately chased after him. But before he could catch up, a resurrected one had already stopped him. "Get out of the way." Amidst the roar, he was greeted by a shocking self-destruction. A resurrected one actually self-destructed on the spot, directly dragging two true god stage 9 powerhouses beside him down into the water, blasting them to pieces together. This self-destruction immediately made many people regain their senses. One by one, they became hesitant and didn't dare to fully attack, wanting to leave some power for self-protection. Lin Moyu's fingertips flashed slightly, and corpse explosion was used silently. Immediately, several explosions occurred, and amidst the screams, several more corpses appeared. Corpses were weapons. As long as there were enough and strong enough corpses, Lin Moyu was enough to destroy the world. Qian Huang cleared the way in front, Lin Moyu followed behind, secretly killing a few along the way. The two finally broke out of the chaotic circle and flew straight for tens of millions of kilometers before stopping. Qian Huang breathed a long sigh of relief, finally escaped. Lin Moyu cupped his fists towards Qian Huang. Thank you, senior, for risking your life to save me. Qian Huang waved his hand. We're both of the human race, it's all that should be done. Lin Moyu smiled. Not everyone can do it. I am who I am, I don't care what others do. Little brother, you should leave quickly, it's already very dangerous here. Qian Huang kindly advised. He knew that Lin Moyu's strength wasn't bad, and if it was one-on-one, he would definitely have the power to protect himself. But just now, it wasn't a one-on-one situation at all. If it hadn't been for the sudden chaos and infighting, they might not have been able to escape. Lin Moyu asked, where is senior planning to go? Qian Huang said, I'm planning to go back. I originally wanted to get this top-grade Starfire essence and then go back, but I still couldn't get it. There won't be any more top-grade Starfire essence born here for the time being. Little brother, you should leave too. Lin Moyu knew that after a top-grade Starfire essence was born, a new top-grade Starfire essence wouldn't be born for a period of time. This time varied, it could be 10 days or half a month, or it could be several months or half a year. Lin Moyu nodded. Okay, senior, be careful on the way back. My name is Lin Moyu. If senior has time in the future, you can come and find me for a drink and a chat. Lin Moyu took the initiative to report his name this time. Regardless of whether what Qian Huang did was useful or not, Lin Moyu remembered Qian Huang's kindness in his heart. Between protecting himself and the choice of life and death, Qian Huang decided to protect himself, not hesitating to pay the price in blood. This really moved Lin Moyu. At this moment, the aura on Qian Huang's body began to fluctuate violently, and a strange aura emanated from Qian Huang's soul, permeating the starry sky. Qian Huang trembled slightly, revealing a wry smile. I didn't expect to advance at this time. It seems I can't send you back. Qian Huang was about to advance to God King, and the process of advancement was difficult to control, lasting from a few days to several years. Moreover, it is best not to be disturbed during the advancement, so that you can calmly comprehend the laws, so as to obtain the best results. Qian Huang originally planned to compete for this superb stellar essence fire and then go back to prepare for the God King advancement. Now, in order to protect Lin Moyu, he fought his way out of the siege, which instead led to the early arrival of the advancement. Lin Moyu naturally understood the importance of advancement. Advancement is important, this junior will protect you to leave. Ha 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 ha, Qian Huang, you actually advanced here, you really chose a good place. A wild laugh rang out, and a mad bull stepped through the stars in the starry sky. Niuda is back, and the injuries on his body have actually healed. Qian Huang's face changed. Damn, why did he return at this time? Lin Moyu said, he is coming for you, senior. Lin Moyu could feel that Niuda had firmly locked onto Qian Huang, obviously not wanting Qian Huang to advance properly. Qian Huang's strength was on par with him, so he would not be afraid of him normally. But now he is in a state of advancement and is not suitable for fighting. Otherwise, once there is a problem with the advancement, and the road ahead is cut off, it would be a huge loss. Lin Moyu naturally understood this principle, and said in a low voice, Senior, you leave first, find a place to advance and break through, I will block him. Qian Huang was shocked. No, this is too dangerous. Lin Moyu shook his head and said, it's okay, he can't hurt me with his strength. Even if I am not his opponent, I can protect myself. Qian Huang looked at Lin Moyu suspiciously, not knowing whether what Lin Moyu said was true or false. Lin Moyu said, don't worry, although this junior's realm is not high, I am very good at defense. Even Yu Qingru would not be able to kill this junior easily, let alone a mere mad bull. Senior, leave quickly, advancement is important. Qian Huang also knew that he couldn't hesitate at this moment, and immediately cupped his fists at Lin Moyu. Brother Lin, I, Qian, will remember this kindness, and I will repay it in the future. Senior, leave quickly. Lin Moyu didn't say much, just urged. His eyes were already on Niuda, his killing intent was boiling, and he was ready to attack. Qian Huang took out a rune and activated it, his body was wrapped in a stream of light, and he flew away. Interstellar teleportation talisman, which can instantly teleport tens of millions of kilometers. Moreover, Qian Huang must have used more than one, and may use one after another. Where are you going? One axe opens the sky. Niuda roared and slashed down with an axe in the air, trying to stop Qian Huang. Lin Moyu snorted coldly, your opponent is me. A large number of skeleton god generals appeared in the starry sky, and in an instant, sword energy intertwined, forcibly cutting off Niuda's attack. Niuda was stunned, looking at so many skeletons, he said in a muffled voice, what are these things? Lin Moyu chuckled, things that can kill you. As soon as he finished speaking, more skeleton god generals appeared. In an instant, at least tens of thousands of skeleton god generals surrounded Niuda, and for a time, sword energy erupted, mixed with the law of immortality, and attacked Niuda frantically. Get out of here! Niuda roared, and at the same time opened his law domain. The starry sky was filled with layers of axe shadows, and he fought with the skeleton god generals. In a one-on-one fight, the skeleton god generals are not as good as Niuda. The combat power of the skeleton god generals has just reached the 9th rank of true god, while Niuda's combat power has reached the peak of true god, and there is some gap between the two. However, the skeleton god generals have extremely strong defense and can be resurrected. Even if tens of thousands of skeleton god generals cannot kill Niuda for a while, over time, they will be enough to exhaust him to death. Lin Moyu looked at the direction where Qian Huang was leaving, and there was no trace of him at all, and even the aura of advancement could not be felt. At this time, even if Niuda wanted to chase, it would be impossible to catch up. Niuda also knew that he couldn't catch up. He roared madly, boy, I'm going to kill you. Lin Moyu chuckled, you have to be able to hit me first. Surrounded by the skeleton god generals, Niuda couldn't rush over at all. Lin Moyu ignored him, with killing intent, turned around and returned to the previous starry sky. The chaotic battle there was still going on, and more than half of the resurrected ones had been killed or injured. But the other side also paid a considerable price, and many corpses were floating in the starry sky. Lin Moyu's arrival meant the arrival of death. Chapter 1095. If you dare to move, I will kill you. The chaotic situation has been brought under control, and the resurrected ones have basically been killed. Some were killed before they could even self-destruct. You dare to come back. Returning alone, you are really not afraid of death. Since you're here, don't even think about leaving. Although I don't know why those guys suddenly went crazy, it must be related to you. Everyone roared, and rushed towards Lin Moyu with murderous intent. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, fusion art, time curse. This time, Lin Moyu used all his strength, and the curse enveloped a large area of the starry sky, almost a radius of 100,000 kilometers, all within the range of the curse. The starry sky suddenly turned blood red, and even the light of the stellar essence fire was suppressed. Miserable screams rose and fell, and everyone suffered soul attacks. Although it was not enough to cause injury, it was extremely painful. In the starry sky, the million-meter giant eye of the undead descended with the undead world, and the gate of the undead world began to burn with raging flames. Soul attacks followed one after another. Lin Moyu also knew that he couldn't hurt them, but at least he wouldn't let them have a good time. Skeleton god generals and death dragon knights surged out, and a legion of more than 1 million undead in the starry sky surrounded a large area of the star field. The terrifying sword energy seemed to completely tear the starry sky apart, and the stellar essence fire was blown up one after another, exploding into beautiful fireballs. Dragon breath completely ignited the starry sky, and the dragon breath containing the law of immortality burned the starry sky. What is this? What kind of law is this, such a strong corrosive power? The law is full of the aura of death. Is this the law of death? No, this power is much stronger than the law of death. Not a second-tier law, this is a first-tier law. And so many puppets, how can he have so many puppets? Is he a human prince? Nearly 100 true god peak powerhouses of various races were stunned by Lin Moyu alone. Sword energy crisscrossed, incomparably brilliant, and dragon breath covered the sky. The powerhouses of various races were in it. Their vision was obstructed, and even the power of their souls could not be explored. The eye of the undead stared at the entire field, and if anyone dared to explore the power of their souls, they would inevitably be attacked by it. Boom! The roar sounded, and the screams followed one after another. Lin Moyu detonated a corpse, instantly killing one person. The corpses here are all corpses of the 9th rank of true god, enough to kill anyone present. The power of corpse explosion is extremely unreasonable, and the only limitation is distance. The art itself is only 400 meters away. Even if the talent increases by 300 times, it is only 120,000 meters, only 120 kilometers. In the starry sky, 120 kilometers is no different from face to face, almost hugging each other. Whether it is the sword energy covering the starry sky, or the omnipresent dragon breath, or the eye of the undead that restricts the release of soul power, they are all prepared for corpse explosion. Corpse explosion is the ultimate move that Lin Moyu prepared for these true god peak powerhouses. Boom! Another loud noise, and amidst screams, another peak true god expert was killed. Although soul force was difficult to release, the death of someone and the disappearance of their life force were still sensed by other experts. The experts of various races immediately felt their bodies tingle and a chill run down their spines. Lin Moyu had the strength to kill them. Breakthrough. The sound of souls resounded through the starry sky, and some began to try to break through. Lin Moyu sneered, too late. In less than a minute, with the cover of sword energy and dragon breath, the million-strong undead army had already divided and surrounded these people. Each person was surrounded by tens of thousands of skeleton god generals and death dragon knights, layer upon layer, airtight. Breaking through was almost impossible. At this moment, a small bead appeared in Lin Moyu's hand. He casually crushed it, and the small bead shattered with a bang. The entire space suddenly became stable, which also meant that most artifact paths such as teleportation talismans would become ineffective. Space stabilizing bead can stabilize 1,000,000 kilometers of starry sky. Within the starry sky, the effects of teleportation-type items will be restricted. The space-stabilizing bead was one of Lin Moyu's spoils of war these days. Lin Moyu himself couldn't figure out exactly which guy he got it from. Recently, he had obtained too many miscellaneous things, most of which were useless, and only a few were useful. Lin Moyu had 3 more space-stabilizing beads like this. They came from different people, and they were also very good tools for chasing enemies. Feeling the power of the space-stabilizing bead, everyone felt heavy in their hearts. They knew that this battle today was truly a fight to the death. Not only could they not escape, but Lin Moyu could not escape either. Kill. In the roar, souls manifested one by one. Laws were armor, laws were body, protecting the soul, launching a frantic attack. Skeleton god generals were cut into pieces one after another, but they immediately returned to their original state. Even with soul manifestation, they still found it difficult to break through. The skeleton god generals were fearless of death, and even if they were about to die, they would use their bones to trap them. Boom, boom, boom. The roar continued to sound, everything was ready, and Lin Moyu had no more worries, launching a massacre. The skeletons had long since collected the corpses for Lin Moyu to use. Aaaa seeking fresh flowers aaaa. Lin Moyu shuttled through the sword light and dragon breath, using the vision of the undead, which had no effect on him. With each roar, a life disappeared. Let me go, I have no grievances with the human race. I am not an enemy of the human race, please let me go. Some people began to beg for mercy, but Lin Moyu ignored them, he didn't intend to let any of them go. Even if there were a few races that had no old grudges with the human race, they wanted to kill him just now, so there was a new hatred. This was a battlefield, old and new hatreds were all ways to seek death. Lin Moyu was decisive in killing, and never showed mercy to his enemies. Back then, he carried out a city massacre, and more than 10 million people died at his hands. A mere 100 people were nothing. In Lin Moyu's eyes, these people were no different from others. Your strength is high and your realm is high, but it's just a little more troublesome, that's all. A few minutes later, the battlefield had completely quieted down, and there was not a single living person left. Lin Moyu still had 20 corpses on hand, all of which he collected. The corpses of peak true gods could cause damage even to god kings, and if used well, they might be able to kill god kings. The starry sky returned to silence again. Lin Moyu put away the undead army, and turned to fly in the direction he came from. The battle there was still continuing, and 10,000 skeleton god generals were fiercely attacking Niuda. Niuda's combat power was indeed very strong, and he had actually suppressed the skeleton god generals. He wore a heavy armor, which was dazzling and had a very strong defense, blocking the sword energy of the skeleton god generals. It was also with the power of the armor that Niuda was able to block Yu Qingru's sword. Lin Moyu's arrival made Niuda reveal a sneer, "You're finally back." He roared, and a little bull rushed out from the top of his head. Soul manifestation, the little bull knocked away the skeletons surrounding him and rushed towards Lin Moyu. Niuda was good at the law of physics, and transformed into a tens of thousands of meters high bull shadow in the starry sky, seemingly to crush Lin Moyu into slag. But the next second, Niuda's face showed horror. No! Amidst the screams, a roar sounded. Lin Moyu unceremoniously rewarded him with a corpse explosion using the corpse of a ninth-order true god. Niuda's soul almost collapsed, and there was also a piece of armor on his soul, which had been blown to pieces. Niuda fled back madly, and with a whoosh, he drilled back into his body. He was extremely frightened and turned to flee. At this time, Lin Moyu's voice sounded in his ear, "If you dare to move, I will kill you." Sunset. Chapter 10096, Great World Oath, driven for 100 years. Niuda was very decisive and did not move. Even his breathing became lighter. He could feel that he had been locked on by Lin Moyu. As long as another attack like that just now came, he would die. In the soul manifestation state, the soul armor was directly shattered and the soul was injured. Lin Moyu's attack was even more terrifying than Yu Qingru's in his eyes. Niu Mawang is above, what killing god did Lao Niu provoke? He's only at the second level of true god, how can he be so terrifying? Even more terrifying than that bitch Yu Qingru. Niuda wanted to cry but had no tears. He just wanted to go home now, he shouldn't have come back just now. Now it's good, he doesn't dare to move or leave. Lin Moyu came to Niuda and looked him up and down. Niuda was more than 5 meters tall, much taller than the human race. When Lin Moyu first left the small world, he had seen a god Venerable of the Niumo race. The god Venerable of the Niumo race was more than 10 meters tall, much taller than the Niu, 417, in front of him. It seems that the Niumo race has this characteristic, the stronger the strength, the larger the body. Niuda was a little hairy from being watched by Lin Moyu, and sweat had seeped out of his head. "What are your orders?" Lin Moyu chuckled, "You are quite polite." Niuda squeezed out a smile that was even uglier than crying, "Our Niumo race respects the strong. You are stronger than me and deserve respect." Lin Moyu chuckled, "Your Niumo race has no grudges with our human race. At least in the last war, your Niumo race did not participate." Niuda's big bull head nodded quickly, and thick air spewed out of his huge nostrils. "Yes, yes, yes, you are right, our Niumo race has no past hatred with the human race, and no recent." He couldn't continue speaking, stopping halfway through his sentence. Looking at Lin Moyu's ambiguous smile, Niuda realized that just now, he had been clamoring to kill Qian Huang. Having no grievances recently, he couldn't bring himself to say those words. Lin Moyu looked at him, "It's good that you know. Now, I'll give you 2 choices. First, swear a great world oath to be at my disposal for 100 years, after which I'll set you free. Second, I'll kill you now and grant you complete freedom." "Alright, choose." Lin Moyu didn't give Niuda any room for negotiation. Anyone who wasn't an idiot would know which of the 2 choices to make. Great world oaths weren't to be taken lightly. They would trigger the laws of oaths and be monitored by the Great World. Violating an oath would have severe consequences. Niuda asked, "You're not going to send me to my death, are you?" He cherished his life, so he gritted his teeth and asked one more question. 100 years wasn't unacceptable. After all, he was a peak true god, and 100 years wasn't too long. But if Lin Moyu constantly made him do things with a 1 in 10 chance of survival during those 100 years, he might as well die now. Lin Moyu said, "My request is simple. I guarantee that I won't send you to your death, I can promise you that. As for whether you believe it or not, that's up to you." Niuda said with a wry smile, "Do I have a choice? Then I'll swear the oath." "Go ahead, my name is Lin Moyu," Lin Moyu said. Niuda's entire body surged with laws as he began to make the oath. Great world oaths couldn't be achieved by simply saying a few words. One had to activate all the laws in their body and swear with the voice of their soul to have a chance of success. Niuda's entire body surged with laws, and the voice of his soul echoed through the starry sky. I, Niuda of the Niu demon race, hereby swear that from this moment on, for 100 years, I will be at the disposal of Lin Mo Yu of the human race. If I violate this oath, I will surely die with my laws exploding. In the starry sky, an inexplicable power descended, and his voice gathered into a ball of light, known as the Oath Ball. The laws of oaths manifested, leaving an imprint on the Oath Ball. Lin Mo Yu also left his own imprint on it at that moment. Then, the Oath Ball exploded and dissipated into the starry sky. Lin Mo Yu felt a connection between himself and Niuda, and he could even directly issue commands to Niuda through his consciousness. Niuda sighed helplessly. What are your orders? What do you want this old ox to do? Lin Mo Yu said, it's simple. Stay here and help me collect top-grade stellar essence fire. That's it. Niuda was slightly stunned. He thought Lin Mo Yu would make him do something complicated and dangerous. Just having him collect top-grade stellar essence fire in the 3rd stellar essence fire group was that simple. Niuda couldn't believe it. He had been here for several years and was very familiar with the place. With his strength, he didn't need to fear anyone here. Lin Mo Yu hummed in acknowledgement. Remember, I said collect, not absorb. Once you've collected the stellar essence fire, notify me, and I'll come to get it. Niuda responded, old ox understands. Lin Mo Yu hummed in acknowledgement, that's all. With that, he turned and left, disappearing into the starry sky in an instant. Niuda looked at Lin Mo Yu strangely and couldn't help but sigh. The human race has truly produced an extraordinary genius. Compared to Qian Huang, Lin Mo Yu was much more terrifying in Niuda's eyes. Filled with curiosity, he flew back to the place where he was before. Earlier, Lin Mo Yu had used the skeleton god generals to surround him, and he had run away, not knowing what they were doing. Returning to the place where the tricolor essence fire was born, Niuda's expression immediately changed. The aura of battle still lingered here, and various laws intertwined and collided in the starry sky, taking a long time to calm down. Niuda twitched his nose twice and smelled a strong scent of blood. The Niu demon race had a very sensitive nose and could smell the scent within the laws. Then, he saw a large number of broken corpses, all shattered into pieces, but he could still recognize some of them. These corpses belonged to different races, and Niuda gasped. He realized that something must have happened here in the few minutes that Lin Mo Yu had left him. The peak true gods of various races are dead, killed by Lin Mo Yu. Niuda suddenly had this thought, and the more he thought about it, the more likely it seemed. The hairs on his body stood on end, and he felt a sense of fear. If he had been here at the time, would he have already died? Niuda decided to honestly follow Lin Mo Yu's instructions and diligently collect stellar essence fire for Lin Mo Yu, to save his life first. This human race was too terrifying, far more terrifying than he had imagined. Lin Mo Yu left the 3rd stellar essence fire group and flew towards the 4th stellar essence fire group. This time, he had to fly across trillions of kilometers of void, which would take at least 40 days. If he encountered any accidents along the way, it would take even longer. Hopefully, I can encounter a flash star. Although Lin Mo Yu had a casual attitude, he still hoped to encounter a flash star. After all, it could really strengthen his physical body, and such an opportunity was hard to come by. Most races didn't value the physical body and paid more attention to the soul. However, Lin Mo Yu felt that the physical body was the carrier of the soul and should be equally important. If possible, he hoped that his physical body could be as strong as his soul. But as of now, his physical body was far behind his soul. His soul had already reached the 4th grade, equivalent to the soul quality of a god emperor. But his physical body was still only at the transcendent god level. If it weren't for the flame heart constantly strengthening his physical body day after day, he might not even have a transcendent god level physical body. The human race's enhancement of the physical body was passively enhanced with the increase in cultivation. Generally speaking, the physical body would lag behind by 2 major realms. When reaching the God King realm, the physical body would reach the transcendent God realm. The physical body of a god emperor would only be at the true god realm. Lin Mo Yu was now only 1 major realm behind, which already surpassed most human race cultivators. He still had the skeleton open the way in front, keeping a distance of 1,000,000 kilometers from him. After flying for 2 days, Lin Mo Yu had already flown 5 billion kilometers. Suddenly, everything went black, and a tremendous force slammed into him. Chapter 1097. Yu Qingru fainted after being hit by a flash star. Lin Moyu was sent flying millions of kilometers like a shooting star, his bones feeling like they were about to fall apart, making it impossible for him to move. This time, the impact of the flash star was even more terrifying than the last time, infinitely close to the God King realm. Even the undead legion in the spell constant star collapsed once. If it weren't for his passive spells and talents sharing the damage, he would have been shattered to pieces long ago. However, Lin Moyu saw a dark star with a diameter of over 1,000 kilometers flying from the side at an alarming speed, hitting Lin Moyu with perfect accuracy. Lin Moyu was knocked flying again like a ball. The power of the dark star was much weaker than that of the flash star. The flash star carried a magical law, and the main impact came from this law. Lin Moyu survived the flash star's attack, and his skin, flesh, and bones were strengthened again, as if many impurities had been squeezed out. Lin Moyu somewhat understood why most races didn't like cultivating the physical body. Because cultivating the physical body was too troublesome, from the skin to the flesh, then to the bones, and various internal organs, even the bone marrow had to be cultivated one by one. It was not only time-consuming and laborious, but the effect was not necessarily good. Most importantly, purely training the physical body cannot extend lifespan. No matter how strong the physical body is, it cannot keep the soul from perishing. Therefore, all races choose to cultivate the soul, constantly improving its realm to extend life. Only by possessing a sufficiently long lifespan can one be qualified to pursue higher realms. Cultivating the soul is the mainstream in the great world, even for races with powerful physical bodies, such as the dragon race, they would not deliberately cultivate their physical bodies. Lin Mo felt his physical body had strengthened again, reaching about the third or fourth order of the transcendent god realm. Still weak, if only there were more flash stars. Let it be, can't force it. Lin Mo sighed and set off again. In the following 10 days, he didn't encounter any more flash stars. Instead, the skeleton leading the way encountered flash stars 3 times in a row. Lin Mo was helpless, his luck seemed worse than a skeleton's. If his thoughts were heard by others, they would probably vomit blood in anger. Others were afraid of encountering them, but Lin Mo wanted more. As he got closer to the 4th eternal star Truefire cluster, Lin Mo felt that the number of dark stars here was gradually increasing, becoming denser and denser. Dark stars were like assassins in the night, roaring back and forth, bringing death. Lin Mo even had the illusion of entering a meteorite belt. There were a surprising number of dark stars here. Suddenly, a violent wave of laws came, and ripples appeared in the space. Lin Mo felt the laws and wondered, why is it the law of space? Is Yu Qingru here? There were very few people who could control the law of space. Among all the people Lin Mo had seen, only Yu Qingru had mastered the law of space. At that time, Yu Qingru's whereabouts were unknown, and Lin Mo didn't know where she had gone. With her strength, she could indeed go to the 4th eternal star Truefire cluster. With curiosity, Lin Mo slightly changed direction and flew towards the direction from which the law of space came. After flying tens of millions of kilometers, suddenly a large number of gravel flew from the distant sky. The large gravel was hundreds of meters in diameter, and the small one was only tens of meters. These gravels were actually fragments of dark stars, densely packed and falling like rain. A dark star has been shattered. Lin Mo was slightly startled. He could also shatter dark stars. It was just thankless and unnecessary to do so. Among the countless gravels, Lin Mo saw a pure white figure. It really is her. Her condition seems a bit off. Yu Qingru was flying in the starry sky with the gravel, her eyes closed tightly, as if she had fallen into a coma. Lin Mo didn't think much, summoned a large number of skeletons to block the gravel falling like rain. At the same time, he flew over and caught Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru was indeed in a coma, her body was wrapped in the law of space, and the gravel couldn't get close. However, this kind of unconscious law of space couldn't hurt Lin Mo at all. Lin Mo caught her and checked her, and found that her body had suffered severe damage, and a force was rampaging in her body. If her body wasn't strong enough, she would probably have been shattered to pieces. It's a flash star. Lin Mo immediately recognized that she had been hit by a flash star. A force of life from the undying law flew out and landed in her body. The force of life was healing her injuries, and as for the power of the flash star in her body, she could only absorb it herself. The power of the flash star kept destroying her body, while the force of life of the undying law kept healing her body. After half a day, the power of the flash star in Yu Qingru's body was finally exhausted. Lin Mo immediately withdrew the force of life and retreated a distance. He knew that Yu Qingru would wake up soon, and it was better for both sides to avoid any misunderstandings. Without him, Yu Qingru would probably need another 10.5 days to absorb the power of the flash star. Lin Mo was also a little surprised during this process. Yu Qingru's physical strength was very strong. Her physical body had reached the true god realm, far stronger than his own. He just didn't know if she cultivated her physical body, or if the physical body of the starry sky fish human race was so powerful. Yu Qingru's aura kept getting stronger, and the law of space surrounding her body gradually converged and disappeared. With a groan, Yu Qingru opened her eyes. She saw Lin Mo not far away, and the slight confusion in her eyes quickly disappeared. "Why are you here?" Seeing her like this, she didn't seem to know what happened, and Lin Mo couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. "I was passing by, and happened to see you. Seeing you unconscious, I was afraid you might have an accident, so I guarded you for a while." A smile reappeared in Yu Qingru's eyes. "You didn't do anything bad to me, did you?" Her voice was soft, like a little girl acting coquettishly. But if you really thought she was acting coquettishly, the law of space would probably descend on you in the next second. Lin Mo looked at her calmly. "Do you want me to do it, or not?" Yu Qingru cut him off. "You person, have no sense of humor, not fun. Anyway, thank you this time, this princess owes you a favor. But one thing is one thing, the favor you owe this princess is still there, not offset." Lin Mo chuckled. "Whatever you want, tell me what happened. How could you fall into a coma with your strength?" Yu Qingru sighed. "Relatively unlucky, encountered double flash stars. I clearly only found one flash star, but I didn't expect it to be double flash stars, miscalculated." Lin Mo was slightly startled and seized Yu Qingru's words. "You mean, you found flash stars? Flash stars can be found." Yu Qingru said, "It can be found, but you can't." Lin Mo thought for a moment and probably guessed the answer. "Is it because of the law of space?" Yu Qingru smiled. "You guessed it, it's because of the law of space. This princess can roughly sense flash stars through the law of space, and can calculate where flash stars will appear. But what do you want flash stars for? Your human race doesn't seem to train the body." Lin Mo said, "Others don't train the body, doesn't mean I don't train the body. Besides the law of space, is there really no other way?" "Of course." Yu Qingru deliberately dragged out the sound. "There is a way." Saying that, she threw a shell to Lin Mo, from which Lin Mo could feel the aura of the law of space. Yu Qingru said, "This is a magic weapon personally refined by this princess, which can sense flash stars within 500,000 kilometers. Just consider it a thank you gift for helping this princess this time." Chapter 1098. Are you afraid that this princess will eat you? Lin Mo watched Yu Qingru disappear into the distance, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. This proud starry skyfish human princess repays favors really fast, seizing the opportunity to repay the favor. And the favor he owed her, he always had to drag on, not letting him repay it. But to be honest, the shell was indeed useful to him. Using the shell, he could more easily find flash stars and enhance his physical body. Lin Mo held the shell, which looked ordinary and unremarkable, and seemed to still have residual warmth on it. This shell, wouldn't it be something she wore close to her body? This thought only flashed through his mind. Lin Mo's soul power moved slightly, activating the shell. The shell lit up with a faint light, hazy and beautiful. If there were flash stars appearing within a radius of 100,000 kilometers, the shell would point the way with light. Lin Mo held the shell and continued to move towards the fourth eternal star Truefire cluster, while paying attention to the changes in the shell. After Lin Mo left, Yu Qingru appeared in the starry sky. She had actually been there all along, but she was in a different space-time from Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu simply hadn't noticed her presence. However, Lin Moyu's muttered words were clearly heard by her. Yu Qingru's exquisitely beautiful face carried a hint of redness, slightly tinged with annoyance. "Why did you have to say it?" The shell was indeed a personal item, and even if Lin Moyu knew, he shouldn't have said it out loud. At the time, she didn't know what she was thinking, that she would actually give her personal shell to Lin Moyu. Now that she thought about it, she found it incredible herself. Yu Qingru watched Lin Moyu disappear into the starry sky before taking out a pearl. The pearl was pure white and round, shining in the starry sky, very beautiful. This pearl was also a personal item, never leaving her side. She activated the pearl using the unique method of the Starry Sky Fish People clan, and the pearl immediately projected a picture in the starry sky. The picture recorded what had happened in recent days. She found out what had happened after she fell into a coma and carefully looked at it. She had been hit by 2 flashing stars in a row. The power of the 2 flashing stars was too strong, almost causing her body to collapse. Fortunately, a dark star appeared at the time. She used the force to her advantage, guiding part of the flashing star's power out, shattering the dark star. However, the huge impact, as well as the impact from the dark star, caused her to fall into a coma. It was indeed Lin Moyu who saved her, and Lin Moyu also helped her recover. Otherwise, she would have been in a coma for at least 10 days to half a month, and it would have been impossible to recover so quickly. Lin Moyu's methods of saving her seemed very magical, possessing the ability to heal. Yu Qingru felt a little hotness on her back, where she had been in contact with Lin Moyu, and her pretty face became even redder. But seeing the end, when she was about to wake up, Lin Moyu quickly retreated. Of course, she knew why Lin Moyu did this, to avoid causing her misunderstanding. Coward, would this princess eat you? Yu Qingru stamped her foot, seemingly a little angry. Under her feet, the laws of space fractured, and large cracks appeared in the starry sky. Yu Qingru sulked for a while, finally letting out a soft hum, "Interesting fellow, goodbye if fate allows." Saying that, her body became illusory and disappeared. After Lin Moyu flew out hundreds of millions of kilometers, the shell in his hand suddenly became dazzling. The light formed an arrow, pointing in a direction. Without thinking, Lin Moyu flew directly in the direction indicated by the shell. The length of the arrow became shorter and shorter until it completely disappeared. Lin Moyu knew that he had reached the designated location. The starry sky here looked peaceful, and hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, dark stars occasionally flew past, with no trace of flashing stars. In response, Lin Moyu chose to believe the guidance of the shell, which was also believing in Yu Qingru. After waiting quietly for half an hour, the surrounding space suddenly twitched. Lin Moyu, who was originally stationary in the starry sky, was suddenly knocked away without warning, flying hundreds of thousands of kilometers at an alarming speed. The flashing star flashed across the starry sky, the entire duration lasting only 0.01 seconds, and then disappeared again. Lin Moyu felt like all the bones in his body were about to fall apart. The power of the flashing star poured into his body, tearing apart flesh and blood, wreaking havoc inside. But after the devastation, the body would become stronger. Lin Moyu quickly recovered, standing quietly in the starry sky, with joy and excitement in his eyes. It really is possible to find the location of the flashing stars. This time, the flashing star collision further enhanced the strength of his body. With the guidance of the shell, he didn't need to continue flying around like a headless fly. Efficiency would be greatly improved. Yu Qingru had really done him a great favor. At this time, Lin Moyu had changed his view of Yu Qingru, thinking that this person was actually not bad. Although she had the arrogance of a princess, and that aloof gaze of someone playing in the world, she had indeed helped him. This favor, it seems, will be hard to repay. Lin Moyu sighed softly, no longer thinking about it, and continued forward holding the shell. Following the original route, Lin Moyu continued to the 4th constellation Starfire cluster, while searching for the location of flashing stars along the way. Whether it was top-grade constellation Starfire or flashing stars, both were very useful to him. Lin Moyu didn't want to give up on either. Along the way, Lin Moyu found several more flashing stars. Although each collision was very painful, Lin Moyu endured it with pleasure. It was truly a mix of pain and happiness. Finally, after flying for more than 70 days, Lin Moyu entered the realm of the 4th constellation Starfire cluster. Ahead were dots of starlight, brilliant and beautiful, far exceeding any constellation Starfire cluster he had seen before in terms of quantity and range. The 4th constellation Starfire cluster, the area shrouded by the Great World Laws, was as high as 500 million kilometers. However, the previous 1st, 2nd, and 3rd constellation Starfire clusters only covered an area of 100 million kilometers. The area covered by the Great World Laws differed by many times. Lin Moyu felt the Great World Laws constantly rippling in the starry sky, feeling the difference within. The 4th constellation Starfire cluster was different from what he had seen before, very different. The Great World Laws here were more concentrated and suppressed even more severely. Whether it was a divine lord or a divine king, as long as they arrived here, they would be no different from an ordinary true god peak. Lin Moyu's eyes flashed with a sharp light. If the Starfire Serpent's divine lord came here, perhaps he might be able to kill him. Within the true god realm, he was really not afraid of anyone. In his hand, there were still nearly 20 true god Ninth Order corpses, all of which were his weapons. At this time, the shell in his hand lit up again, forming an arrow. The direction of the arrow pointed to the constellation Starfire cluster. Lin Moyu was first surprised, then a look of joy appeared in his eyes. Could it be that the shell can guide the location of the flashing fire? Along the way, he had been hit by flashing stars no less than 10 times, and the level of his body had been greatly improved, almost reaching the limit of the transcendent god realm. But the flashing stars only strengthened the skin, flesh, and bones. As for the internal organs, bone marrow, and blood, they all needed to be strengthened by the flashing fire. Otherwise, having only the surface would always be flawed. The combination of flashing stars and flashing fire was the perfect body refinement. Without thinking, Lin Moyu flew directly in the direction indicated by the shell. After flying tens of thousands of kilometers, Lin Moyu arrived at his destination, then sat cross-legged in the void, waiting quietly. Chapter 1099, The Different Fourth Constellation Starfire Cluster. A flame appeared silently, flashing in the starry sky. Like the flashing star, the duration of the flashing fire was less than 0.01 seconds. But this 0.01 seconds was enough to burn most true gods to death. The scorching flame, carrying inexplicable laws, rose from inside the body, first burning the internal organs, and then delving into the bone marrow. Lin Moyu's whole body was steaming, and his body temperature instantly rose to over 100,000 degrees. If this temperature came from outside the body, the true god realm could ignore it. But if it erupted inside the body, most true god realms would indeed be difficult to bear. For most true god realms that had not refined their bodies were less than even the transcendent god realm, and still very fragile. Lin Moyu, relying on passive spells, weakened and distributed the damage, enduring the burning of the flashing fire unscathed. After hell was heaven. After burning, the heat immediately turned into coolness. The internal organs became purer and stronger. The heart beat more powerfully, and each beat could burst out a large amount of blood, making the body stronger. It seemed that under the effect of the flashing fire, the heart of flame became even stronger. The heart of flame could also refine the body, but it required a lot of time. And the flashing stars and flashing fire greatly shortened the required 563 time, completing the process that would take hundreds or thousands of years in a very short time. Lin Mo breathed deeply and continued forward, clutching the shell. He had confirmed that the shell could also guide him to Flashfire's location, which was an immense gain for him. At the same time, he knew that he seemed to owe more and more favors. Returning kindness and repaying grudges were Lin Mo's principles. Owing such a great favor, Lin Mo didn't know how to repay it. Lin Mo officially began flying towards the Stellar Essence Fire Cluster, a distance of 500 million kilometers, finding 2 more flash fires along the way. The number of flash fires seemed to be greater than flash stars, and they were also easier to find. The Stellar Essence Fire Cluster rapidly magnified before his eyes, and the temperature rose sharply. When there were still tens of millions of kilometers to go, the temperature had already exceeded 1,000,000 degrees. Moreover, as he approached, the temperature became higher and higher. At this temperature, even a transcendent god realm cultivator would be ignited and burned to death just by standing here. Lin Mo estimated that when the distance was only 1,000,000 kilometers, the temperature could exceed 10 million degrees. At that point, even an ordinary true god would feel extremely uncomfortable. As he continued to approach and the temperature continued to rise, even a ninth order true god would find it difficult to move an inch here. Lin Mo stopped when there were still 50 million kilometers left, not continuing to approach. It wasn't because of the astonishing high temperature. High temperature was unrelated to laws, it was caused by pure fire element. Lin Mo was completely immune to fire element. Whether it was 10 million degrees or even 100 million degrees, as long as it was unrelated to laws, it would not have any effect on him. Because he saw a different scene here. Outside the Stellar Essence Fire Cluster, there were 2 enormous fire rings. The fire rings were like asteroid rings outside some stars, encircling the entire Stellar Essence Fire Cluster vertically and horizontally. Looking at it this way, the stellar essence fire cluster resembled a single entity, completely different from what he had seen before. The fire rings were densely packed with stellar essence fires, and these stellar essence fires were flying within the fire rings at astonishing speeds. Lin Mo sensed danger from the fire rings, so he stopped. Without being able to determine safety, Lin Mo didn't want to take risks easily. With a thought, 100 skeleton god warriors flew out, heading towards the stellar essence fire cluster. The skeleton god warriors scattered midway, flying towards different directions. The skeleton god warriors, like Lin Mo, could ignore the high temperature. As long as they weren't directly hit by the stellar essence fire, they wouldn't be in danger. They proceeded safely along the way, and the skeleton god warriors quickly approached the fire rings, with only 100,000 kilometers left. Suddenly, the fire rings moved. A large number of stellar essence fires flew out from the fire rings, raining down on the skeleton god warriors. The speed of the stellar essence fires was extremely fast, completely surpassing the speed of the skeleton god warriors. 100,000 kilometers was almost instantaneous. The skeleton god warriors had no way to avoid it and could only take the hit head-on. The stellar essence fires had tremendous power, containing tyrannical fire-type laws, directly burning the skeletons to ashes. The 100 skeleton god warriors that Lin Mo sent were instantly burned to death, none surviving. Through the information transmitted back by the skeletons, Lin Mo analyzed. The speed of the stellar essence fire was at least 60,000 kilometers per second, more than twice the speed of the skeleton god warriors, so it was difficult to dodge. The attack power of the stellar essence fire was very strong, reaching the peak of the true god realm, and the skeleton god warriors could not withstand it. Moreover, there were at least several million, or even possibly more than 10 million, stellar essence fires in the two fire rings, so it was impossible to push through with numbers alone. After some analysis, Lin Mo knew that if he wanted to break in, he could only withstand the attacks of the stellar essence fires. But ordinary peak true gods definitely couldn't withstand this level of attack. Among the people he had seen, whether it was Qian Huang or Niu Da, they seemed to be a bit short. Yu Qingru should be fine. From this, it could be analyzed that there should be very few cultivators who could be active in the fourth stellar essence fire cluster. Every peak true god who could be active here possessed at least the strength to fight across realms, and their own combat power had to reach the God King realm. Another possibility was that God Kings endured the feeling of having their cultivation suppressed to come here. The reason for God Kings to come here was also very simple, it was for the superb stellar essence fire. God Kings, like true gods, also needed superb stellar essence fire to improve their spell levels. Because once they reached the God Venerate realm, their spell levels would be fixed. Except for extremely rare, heaven-defying treasures, it would be almost impossible to improve their spell levels again. So they had to take advantage of the door being closed to come and find superb stellar essence fire. But because of coming here, the God King's realm would be suppressed to the peak of the true God realm. If the God King himself wasn't a genius, his combat power could only reach the peak of the true God realm, or even be inferior to those geniuses who could fight across realms. God Kings might even be killed by peak true gods here, so the number of God Kings who came here wasn't very large. Through the data and the current situation, Lin Mo, after analysis, obtained the answer. He felt that he shouldn't be in too much danger here. Let's see if I can encounter geniuses from other races. Lin Mo chuckled softly, the wings of the undead suddenly unfolded, stepping on the lightspeed La Halo, transforming into a shooting star and flying away. The fire rings gradually magnified in his vision, and the stellar essence fires inside could be clearly heard. When the distance was only 100,000 kilometers, the stellar essence fires in the fire rings burst out, smashing towards Lin Mo. Lin Mo didn't dodge or evade, directly crashing into them. He had confidence in his defense and wasn't afraid at all. The stellar essence fires landed on Lin Mo, burning fiercely, turning him into a fireman. Lin Mo, enveloped in the stellar essence fires, continued to advance rapidly. The attack of a peak true god was nothing to Lin Mo. After all the damage was weakened, it was transferred to the Undead Legion. The Undead Legion endured all the damage, and the Lich General continuously healed in the spell star. As long as the attack power didn't reach the God King realm and couldn't instantly collapse the Undead Legion, then Lin Mo could continue to endure it. Even if he was now standing in the stellar essence fire, bathing in the essence fire, there wouldn't be any problem. Chapter 1100. Artificially cultivating four-colored essence fire. Lin Mo transformed into a ball of fire, crossed the fire rings, and rushed into the stellar essence fire cluster. The flames on his body instantly extinguished, the stellar essence fires departed, and returned to the fire rings. The 2 fire rings were like 2 door gods, giving all those who wanted to enter a test. If the test was passed, they could enter. If the test failed, they would be burned to ashes. Once an intruder made a decision, they wouldn't even have a chance to regret it. Lin Mo passed the test and successfully entered the stellar essence fire cluster. Just as he had expected, the temperature here was as high as tens of millions of degrees, already exceeding the limit that a true god could withstand. Ordinary true gods simply couldn't survive here. Only those who truly possessed the strength to fight across realms, or those god kings who suppressed their cultivation, could be active here. Even the 4th stellar essence fire cluster is so terrifying. If there are a 5th or even a 6th stellar essence fire cluster, what kind of people can pass through? If I go there, can I withstand it? Thinking of this possibility, Lin Mo couldn't help but sweat for his own boldness. He could be bold, but not reckless. For cultivators, they did need to be bold, but they also needed to be cautious. If they were timid as mice, it would be difficult for them to reach the peak in this lifetime. If they lost their caution, they could also die at any time and not live too long. There were many stellar essence fires here. Just a casual glance would reveal hundreds of them, as if they could be collected at will. There was no need to fight to the death with others for a single essence fire like in the 1st and 2nd stellar essence fire clusters. Anyone capable of reaching this place generally wouldn't even consider ordinary stellar essence fire. They seek top-grade stellar essence fire, and not just the 3-colored kind. Ideally, it would be 4-colored, or even 5-colored. Only then could they elevate their planetary level spells to the stellar level. Lin Mo also sought top-grade essence fire, searching the stellar essence fire clusters as he moved. Top-grade stellar essence fire is formed by the convergence of ordinary stellar essence fire, and its emergence would inevitably cause a stir, making it not too difficult to find. Moreover, with such an astonishing number of stellar essence fires here, the possibility of top-grade stellar essence fire being born is very high. Lin Mo searched along the edges of the stellar essence fire, following his habit of starting from the outermost ring and gradually narrowing the range inward. After searching for the better part of a day, having flown almost completely around the stellar essence fire clusters, he found nothing. Instead, the shell in his hand suddenly lit up. A beam of light pointed forward. There's flash fire here. Lin Mo was slightly stunned. Although he hadn't found top-grade stellar essence fire, finding flash fire wouldn't be bad either. His physical body had already reached the limit of transcendent godhood. With just a few more refinements, he could break through and achieve true godhood. At that time, he would possess both a true god soul and a true god body, and while he didn't know how much his combat power would increase, at least his defense would improve. Following the shell's guidance, Lin Mo quickly reached his destination. But he was a step too late. The flash fire had already appeared. The flash fire flickered less than 10,000 kilometers away from him. Too late. Lin Mo sighed inwardly. After all, this was the stellar essence fire region, and he wasn't moving in a straight line, nor could he push his speed to the maximum, so he had been delayed by a few seconds. Those few seconds cost him a chance to temper his body with flash fire. But Lin Mo sensed something was wrong. The location where the flash fire appeared was right where a stellar essence fire was. The flash fire collided with the stellar essence fire, and the two fused. Then, the stellar essence fire mutated, and a strange aura spread out. This aura seemed to have a massive attraction, like a magnet, drawing in a large number of stellar essence fires from the surroundings. The stellar essence fires converged, began to sublimate, and transformed towards top-grade stellar essence fire. So that's how it is. Lin Mo finally understood how top-grade stellar essence fire was produced. It turned out that flash fire collided with ordinary stellar essence fire, causing the ordinary stellar essence fire to mutate and attract other stellar essence fires. Finally, top-grade stellar essence fire was born. No wonder top-grade stellar essence fire is so difficult to create. Its root is flash fire. Flash fire is already rare, and it has to collide with ordinary stellar essence fire, and there must be enough stellar essence fire around to absorb and converge. Lin Mo imagined the entire process, and the probability was indeed low. Watching the stellar essence fire constantly fly over and join in, Lin Mo thought of another possibility. If he helped add more stellar essence fire, like adding fuel to a fire, could it become stronger? 3-colored essence fire requires 100 ordinary stellar essence fires to converge. 4-colored essence fire requires 200 ordinary stellar essence fires. 5-colored essence fire requires 400 ordinary stellar essence fires. If there are only 100 stellar essence fires nearby, then only 3-colored essence fire can be born. If more stellar essence fire is added artificially, could 4-colored or even 5-colored essence fire be born? For example, if he placed an ordinary stellar essence fire in a place where he knew flash fire would occur. After it mutated, even if there was no stellar essence fire around, as long as he had enough stellar essence fire to supply it, could he artificially create top-grade stellar essence fire? Lin Mo was startled by his own bold idea. But thinking about it carefully, it seemed really feasible. Lin Mo had always been bold, and he acted on his thoughts. He had plenty of stellar essence fire on hand. In the 3rd stellar essence fire cluster, he slaughtered over 100 true god peaks. The stellar essence fire they had accumulated over the years all belonged to him. When he finished counting the number of stellar essence fires, even Lin Mo himself was shocked. The number of stellar essence fires exceeded 10,000. A total of 11,083 stellar essence fires were quietly lying in his storage space, stored in various essence fire containers. Around the mutating and sublimating top-grade stellar essence fire, exactly 160 ordinary stellar essence fires were being attracted. If nothing unexpected happened, a 3-colored essence fire would form in a day or two. Lin Mo took out 50 stellar essence fires and sent them into it, and the flames immediately burst up. The 100-kilometer starry sky had already turned into a sea of fire, and now it instantly expanded to 1,000 kilometers. The momentum and scale were completely different from before. They were not on the same level at all. Lin Mo knew that a 4-colored essence fire would be produced this time. It seems the method is feasible. Lin Mo didn't continue to add stellar essence fire. Now that he knew the method was feasible, there was no need to rush. Flash fire could be found in many places, and it wasn't particularly difficult to find. Besides, there should be others here, and now that the aura of top-grade essence fire was spreading, it might attract others. At that time, a big battle would be inevitable, and without knowing the strength of the enemy, Lin Mo wasn't so kind as to work for others. He waited quietly, watching the entire process of the essence fire taking shape. The formation speed of the 4-colored essence fire exceeded his expectations. The 3-colored essence fire took a full 3 days to truly form. Originally, he thought that the 4-colored essence fire should take even longer, but he didn't expect it to be faster than the 3-colored essence fire. In just 1 day, the 4-colored essence fire was almost formed. The sea of fire quickly contracted, eventually leaving only a flame with a diameter of 100 meters. Red, orange, yellow, and green lights simultaneously appeared in the flame. 4-colored essence fire, with one more color than 3-colored essence fire, had its effect increased several times, and had a chance to upgrade planetary level spells to stellar level spells.